35,000 is expected today for the renewal of the Bedlam Series in college football. Oklahoma versus Oklahoma State. The Cowboys come in ranked number 12 in the nation, a record of 7-1, but they're an underdog as Oklahoma is ranked number 1 and unbeaten. Good afternoon, everyone. Bill Ann and Dean Blevins with you at Memorial Stadium for what should be an exciting afternoon of college football. The big question is, with Oklahoma State being ranked number 12, yet how do they beat Oklahoma? 29-point underdog is what the Cowboys are.
Well, Bill, they have to play well defensively in containing Oklahoma's wishbone. A couple of keys for OSU today. Free safety Jerry Deckard must have a big day. The free safety is always a key in any defensing any option-oriented offense. And secondly, Marcus Jones and Johnson, a couple of down people for Oklahoma State, must contain Oklahoma offensively. They will try to assault OSU. And on offense for Oklahoma State, they have to keep Oklahoma off balance, and Mike Gundy needs a big day.
The Sooners lead the nation in 5 different statistical categories, yet Coach Barry Switzer says you can keep things basic today.
I think Oklahoma will be conservative because they realize that in their minds it's a mismatch offensively with their line versus the smaller, less experienced Oklahoma State defensive line. So you'll probably see Oklahoma assault Oklahoma State as best it can and try to avoid giving up the big play to Gundy and company.
Big day for Coach Barry Switzer. He has a chance today to become the Big Eight's all-time winningest football coach and surpassing the legendary Bud Wilkinson. Does that mean a lot to Barry, or will this be something he'll look back upon in later years?
Well, I think it does mean more to Barry than some people might think. He lets a lot of this slide by and kind of plays it down, but this is a big thing when you pass a legendary coach like that. The players rally around Coach Switzer in big ball games, especially when it means something like this. And the Oklahoma State game is a very big one to Barry. He has a special way of getting the players riled for this game.
Here's a look at the stadium as fans continue to file in, and the weather we thought earlier this afternoon would be a factor. It certainly will be with the wind, but the field is going to dry out some, and it appears that things are going to clear off, and we may have some sunshine before the day is over, Dean.
Presently, 57 degrees. Rain is not expected. I think the most important factor of the weather, Bill, is the wind. The wind will be gusting up to 30 miles per hour. Now, this is an unusual turf because it is actually better in terms of the footing when it's a little bit damp versus when it's dry. I think when it's dry, it has a tendency to accumulate some dust, so the footing should be good, and the weather's good except for the wind.
Take a look at the Big Eight standings. Oklahoma tied for the #1 spot with second-ranked Nebraska, both 4-0 and both unbeaten on the year. The Cowboys at 3-1 in the league, and then Colorado and Missouri, they meet this afternoon, and then 3 of the worst teams in college football. Kansas, Iowa State, and Kansas State. And the big battle today is really that sunflower game up in Manhattan with Kansas State to beat Kansas.
And there's Cecil Samara. He had to get in on some of the action. You know, hey, is there any way that Kansas State game that both teams can lose? Does that ever happen?
Maybe a 0-0 tie. And we'll have the excitement here today, though, as you see the Oklahoma Sooners coming out of their locker room. The Sooners last week ripping apart Kansas 71-10, and meanwhile Oklahoma State toyed with Kansas State 56-7, so they set both games up nicely as far as those rivalries. Here's a look at the Sooners season. A slight challenge from North Carolina early in the year, a number of routes. The Texas game, a convincing first half performance, wiped out the Longhorns in that one, and then the Kansas State game, Colorado a slight letdown, and then the blowout over Kansas.
Some people think that Oklahoma can just turn it on and turn it off when it wishes. They have not played up to expectations, Bill, so far this season. They feel they are more emotionally prepared for this game than any so far this season, so we'll see if they'll be able just to turn it on.
The OSU Cowboys started things off with an exciting 39-28 victory over Tulsa that I hope you had a chance to see with us. And the shutout over Houston, a thriller against Wyoming. Southwestern Louisiana, their best victory of the year, certainly a convincing win over Colorado, and then a complete manhandling of Nebraska by the Huskers, taking care of Oklahoma State. A key win at Missouri is the one that I looked on as maybe one of the most pivotal victories in Pat Jones' career.
Well, Pat has played very well, coached very well, Bill, against every team in the Big Eight Conference. He has had a great deal of success against teams other than Oklahoma and Nebraska. He has yet to beat those teams. Today, he would love to pull off the big upset. To do that, his team has to have some success running the football. Mike Gundy cannot get back in the backfield and be sacked.
There's a look at the common opponents so far this year with Colorado, Kansas State, and Tulsa. And you see the convincing win by the Cowboys over Colorado, and the Sooners struggling yet still in control. Today's game between the Oklahoma Sooners and the Oklahoma State Cowboys is brought to you by Citgo and Citgo Gasoline Retailers. Oklahoma State will be receiving here this afternoon. They'll be going into that stiff breeze to start things off. And we talked before the Nebraska game, Dean, the importance of the Cowboys getting something going early, having some kind of success when they're such an underdog. Even the same situation here today.
First series is very important today for the Cowboys. They will be going into that breeze. I would think that they would try to throw the ball a little bit, but you can't. I mean, when you have a 30-mile-an-hour on the field breeze, it's going to be tough to get the ball upfield. Fortunately for Oklahoma State, they run a lot of short control passing type routes, the hitches, the stops, the slants. Occasionally they'll slip in a takeoff type route that's deep, but they will try to run the short passing game.
And the Cowboys, if they plan on winning today, certainly hope to get some great production out of their kicking game, as they have the top return people in the Big 8 Conference. And the kickoff return, Barry Sanders and Thurman Thomas will be back for Oklahoma State. And the wind, as you can see, already a factor as we can't get things kicked off here.
Todd Thompson has struggled a little bit kicking and punting for Oklahoma this year. Last season, I was told today that there were only 6 kickoffs, Bill, that were even returned, and he certainly has not had that success this year. You can anticipate this one, though, with the over 30-mile-an-hour prevailing wind to be boated through the end zone.
Here it comes from Thompson. Sanders lets it go, and it'll be 1st and 10, Oklahoma State on the Cowboy 20-yard line. The Cowboys have been in a real drought against Oklahoma. The last victory coming back in 1976 as the offensive unit comes on the field. And last year shut out 19-0 here. That young man right there, Mike Gundy, hopes to change things in his career. Gundy just getting his 3rd start a year ago against Oklahoma, and certainly a vastly improved player. The pitch out to Sanders on 1st and 10, and he is stuck. Troy Johnson, the defensive end, the leader on the play. And Dante Williams also moved along for the nose guard spot.
Troy Johnson and Darrell Reed is good at tandem, Bill, at defensive ends, any team in the country.
And there's a look at the guys they'll try to contain. Thomas, Limbrick, a great blocker. Ronnie Williams and Dykes, of course, the Big 8's leading receiver. The offensive line. 2nd and 10. And again, nothing. Sanders is slammed again, and Dante Jones makes the tackle. We'll look at the defensive unit that has had back-to-back great plays to start the ball game off. Reed and Johnson, the ends, and boy, are they a pair. Evans, Williams, Kilpatrick in the middle. Dillon back at linebacker, and Dante Jones. And in the secondary, Vickers and Dixon, the best of a real strong bunch. 3rd and 10 from the 20. First series for the Cowboys. Thomas found a little hole, but he is stopped at the 24 after a pickup of 4. And the Cowboys will kick it away on 3rd and 6 after Darrell Reed makes the tackle. And this huge crowd here at Memorial Stadium giving an ovation to the defense.
Darrell Reed, 40 on the play before this, does a good job of containing on this play. Again, Thurman Thomas has to come back in the middle. A conservative call on 3rd down, Bill, but it's into that wind. The last thing you want to do is have an early turnover.
Kerry Cooper is back to punt it away. Stands on his own 10-yard line. He's averaging 44.6 per game. Has not had enough punts to be ranked nationally, though. And the fair catch by Charles Thompson, a diving one at the 50-yard line. Correct myself, Bernard Hall. And Oklahoma with tremendous field position. They'll mark it down at the Sooner 49-yard line.
Last season, Oklahoma State confused Oklahoma offensively. The Sooners had all offseason and even the first part of this season, Bill, to study what the Cowboys did. They feel comfortable that they will be able to take advantage of the gambling defense today.
Holloway on the option, and he is stopped for no gain. Oklahoma State's Wade Weller makes the tackle, and he is one of the guys that Oklahoma may try to pick on.
They may later. There you see the Sooner backs and receivers, Stafford, Collins, Carr, Cavanis, and Jackson. Fine play by Weller.
Offensive line called the best in Barry Switzer's history here, maybe the best ever, period, at Oklahoma. 2nd and 9 at the 49. First down, Oklahoma. Liddell Carr bulls his way to the 34-yard line of the Cowboys, where Weller makes the tackle.
Barry Switzer has said that Bob Latham is maybe the finest center, Bill, since he has been at Oklahoma. And he's taking advantage today of Kim Johnson, or at least took advantage of him on that play. Johnson is doing a good job, though. He's improved the last couple of weeks, and there you see the down people for Oklahoma State.
Pickup of 17 yards, and it's 1st and 10, Oklahoma. And Gillum Smith, the best guy, or I say the best guy, he's had the best year in the secondary, I believe. Again, they pound up the middle, the Sooners do, and to the 26-yard line. Ricky Shaw makes the tackle. As you see Rodney Anderson getting up. We'll see a lot of the fullbacks today. Anderson, Chancellor Hall could be playing some there, as Liddell Carr is out momentarily. 2nd and 3. Anderson again, and he is stopped by David Bailey. Bailey, 6'4", 230, a junior out of Oklahoma City. And we'll have a timeout for a measurement. So Anderson goes over to the sideline. Duncan Parham. Short, as you can see, by less than a yard. On a 3rd and 1 at the 24 of the Cowboys. No score, 11:22 to go first quarter. Bill Land and Dean Blevins with you here in Norman. Oklahoma 63 of 113 in third down conversions on the year, and Holloway with the keeper should have it. Jamel Holloway, the ball club's leading rusher, came in with 737 yards and averaging 5.9 per carry, and has scored 9 touchdowns. And what makes that even more amazing is his backup, Charles Thompson, has also scored 9 times.
But we talked in the open of the show about Jerry Deckard and how important his play would be today. The free safety must cover lots of ground, and Deckard is a fine athlete. I don't know that free safety is his natural position, though.
Holloway, keeper, and stopped at the 18. Making the tackle for the Oklahoma State Cowboys, Bailey, and also Robert Nunn.
Holloway option left, and the thing defenses try to do against the wishbone is string you out. The Cowboys do a good job that time, stringing out the bone. Rod Smith with a late tackle.
Holloway continuing to move up in different statistical categories. 2nd and 6 for the the Sooners, and inside the 10-yard line as Oklahoma has had its best success in this opening drive by being basic, going up the middle, and that's what they do again with Liddell Carr. Jerry Deckard from the safety spot makes the tackle.
This is a read option right. Holloway's eyes out to the right on the defensive end. The end stays back, handoff to Carr.
Carr, 646 yards rushing this year, 6.3 per carry. And it's 1st and 9 from the 9, 1st and goal from the 9, and Carr stopped at the 5. Whistle blown before the fumble. Deckard again the tackler for Oklahoma State.
That's a good stick by Deckard. Good player, has all Big 8 type potential. He's made the move well, but that's a tough transition that he's had to make from the defensive end position.
And he might be a better player at defensive end, but for Oklahoma State's situation, they're better off with him in the secondary.
You bet. And it looked like that Carr might have some running room, but it was closed quickly as Deckard comes up for the stop.
2nd and goal from the 5 for the Sooners. Holloway, touchdown Oklahoma. Sooners take their opening drive and go 51 yards and are on the board. With 9:20 to go here in the first quarter, is 6-0 Sooners.
Option football. Oklahoma loves this style of football down the goal line. Perfect execution by everyone. Holloway into the end zone untouched. Weller, many people would say, why doesn't Weller come back and take the quarterback? You can't do that. There are rules that you must follow. His man was the pitch man, so he had to watch Holloway go untouched.
R.D. Lasher is on for the point after, and it is good. He is 54 of 56 in the year, and the Sooners lead it 7-0 Oklahoma. 9:20 to go in the first period. The kickoff coming up in a moment.
There's a new standard of excellence in automobile dealerships in Tulsa. It's South Park Lincoln Mercury at 98th and South Memorial. Years of detailed planning have produced the most modern facility in the Southwest. From the ultra-modern service department to the unique showroom in the round, South Park was designed with you, the customer, in mind. See South Park Lincoln Mercury today. The new standard of excellence at 98th and South Memorial.
When you cruise the city streets or racing the track, you want something hot, cause you ain't looking back. 25 in town, 65 an hour. It's Citgo Performer, it's Citgo Power. Mustang, Yukon, Camaro, or Z. Performer is great, it's the best it can be. Citgo Performer. Premium unleaded. It's the gas you need. It's fun is where you're headed. Citgo Performer. Citgo Performer.
Sooners 7, Cowboys nothing first quarter. Bill Anadee Blevins with you. We hope that you all have enjoyed our pay-per-view six-pack of football games this year. It's been our pleasure to bring you the play-by-play, and we're glad to have you with us and glad to have had you with us for the other 5 ball games this year. Oklahoma taking advantage of great field position, stuffing the Cowboys on Oklahoma State's first offensive series, and then receiving the ball at the 49 of OU. And 51 yards later, Holloway, a 5-yard keeper, as no one was near him.
Well, it will be important for Oklahoma State to have some success here, Bill, offensively, and run some clock. And I say run some clock because that wind is a big factor, and they don't want to be down so big to Oklahoma after a quarter that they have to throw the ball every down.
Similar situation in the Nebraska game, and that's what they're trying to avoid. The kickoff over Sanders' head, and it'll be 1st and 10 on the 20 for the Cowboys. There's a look at the drive. 9 plays, 52 yards. Did not throw the football. And Oklahoma with a 7-0 lead. So the Cowboys start over. 1st and 10 on their own 20. 9:20 remaining, and it's 7-0 OU. There's Mike Gundy out of Midwest City. Sophomore is already number 2 in passing yardage in OSU history behind Rusty Hilger. And a couple of yards picked up by Thurman Thomas. Darrell Reed makes the tackle. Ball will be marked at the 23. 2nd down and 7, Cowboys. Thomas has had over 100 yards in one game against Oklahoma in his career, yet OSU is 17-1 when Thomas rushes for better than 100, and the one that they lost was against Oklahoma. And he is certainly a key player. Coach Pat Jones figured to try to get him the ball more often this afternoon. Sanders trying to get wide. 25-30 and out of bounds. 1st down, Cowboys. They'll mark it at the 33.
That play does not surprise Oklahoma. Oklahoma State able to pull one off with the Sooners recognizing what was coming. When you have Sanders in the backfield with Thurman Thomas, you've got to be thinking reverses of all kinds, Bill. And Oklahoma pursues so well that they're vulnerable at times to this. Sanders, a great run. Picked up a big 1st down.
Sanders takes it out to the 33. He averages 10 yards every time he touches the football. Explosive football player. 1st and 10 for Oklahoma State, their first down of the day. Here's Gundy. Plenty of time. Gets it off, and at the 38-yard line, a pickup of 5 yards for Limbrick as Scott Garl makes the tackle.
Now that's an example of what Mike Gundy brings to this team. He was wanting to throw a slant route to Hartley Dykes. That is taken away from him. Oklahoma's expecting a lot of that today. Gundy has the presence to buy some time, scramble right. He turns it from probably an incompletion, Bill, into a 5-yard pickup. 2nd and 5 is much better than 2nd and 10.
And that's just Limbrick's 3rd reception of the year. There's Gundy's season totals. What a year he's having. Just 5 interceptions. A little misdirection, and the Cowboys pop it out to the 46-yard line. David Vickers makes the tackle on Barry Sanders, and Ricky Dixon also there. Here's another look.
Cross buck to Sanders, and the Cowboys are having success with the tandem of Thomas and Sanders at the same time. One split in, Hartley Dykes in this case, Limbrick, Thomas, and Sanders in the backfield.
1st and 10 at the 46 of Oklahoma State. Cowboys trail 7-0. 7:34 to go, first period. Sanders got a bevy of blockers, but none of them got the job done, and Oklahoma nails him for a loss at the 41-yard line. Derek White and David Vickers with a tackle for the Sooners. Indeed, I guess it makes sense with Pat Jones saying that he wanted to run the football more. Why not put your 2 best runners in the game at the same time?
Yeah, people have been asking that all along, and I don't know if Oklahoma was prepared for it, but you would think that they would be expecting it sooner or later. Those 2 runners are as fine as any in the conference in the same backfield.
There's Pat Jones, got his Cowboys at 7-1, and people seem to forget with Oklahoma and all the publicity the Sooners get that Oklahoma State's ranked number 12 in the nation. 2nd and 14 now on the 42. Thomas at the 48-yard line. A pickup of 6 for the Cowboys, and it'll be 3rd and long for Oklahoma State. Dixon again, the tackler. He leads the secondary in interceptions with 4, along with Derek Crudup. There's Thomas work this afternoon.
Oklahoma State did not have much success offensively last year here in Normanville against the Sooners, but you've got to believe that Mike Gundy feels better about his chances because his offensive line is a little bit better, and on the defensive side of the ball, Bosworth's not there, and they are not quite as, Oklahoma's not as strong as last year.
Flags all over the place as this one doesn't get underway. And yeah, the other thing is Mike Gundy has improved so much more, and he's always had confidence, but now he's got something to back up that confidence with the execution that he has had over the last year of ball games.
Now, when I say Oklahoma is not as good as it was last year defensively, some may argue that, but I believe most believe that Brian Bosworth, his presence out there just made a major difference. I think Casper has come on and played well, and Dillon will be a fine player, but you're talking about what is Bosworth? Is it safe to say Bosworth is 1 in a million?
I hope so.
Mike Gundy didn't back down from him.
3rd and 13, the ball on the 43. Fake on the draw, Gundy to air it out. He does to Dykes. He does not have the first down, though. Dykes was hit at the 45 of the Sooners, needed to get inside the 44. Dixon was there, and they will mark it just short of the Oklahoma 45. So a 4th down and 2 coming up. Hartley Dykes, what a receiver this guy is. 49 grabs, 791 yards coming in.
Nice underneath route and toss by Gundy, but Oklahoma does a good job in recognizing the route coming. Cowboy fans unhappy that Oklahoma State punting on 4th and short, but that's a wise decision in my mind.
You know, Oklahoma got the ball at just about this spot last time. Pat Jones does not want to give them another. The fake punt. Thurman Thomas pitches it out. And Cooper gets the first down. Kerry Cooper with the first down. And Oklahoma State with a little surprise.
Well, those fans aren't booing anymore, Bill. You know, Pat told us that this might happen up in Missouri. He said he had this one in the playbook. He springs it on the Sooners. Great coaching, great execution. Sooners caught by surprise. Oklahoma State didn't go on into the field until late. Pulled it off before Oklahoma had a chance to react.
Caught the Sooners napping a bit, and Kerry Cooper probably saying, what just happened? And it's 1st and 10 at the 35. Cowboys trail 7-0. This is their 2nd possession. Started in their own 20. Sanders looking for help, and he is smothered at the 40-yard line. Curtis Williams 6'3", the sophomore, 262-pounder out of Pine Bluff, Arkansas.
Good job by Williams. Probably the best natural defensive lineman Oklahoma has. This play made, take a look at it now as Sanders comes around, gets the handoff deep in his backfield. Curtis Williams, good pursuit, but the guy that made the play is Derek White, number 14. Good containment.
Did not let him outside, and Williams was there for the kill. Second down and 14. Ball is blocked. Dante Williams, I believe, got a hand on it. The sophomore from Gainesville, Texas. Take a look from the end zone on the replay. He's got that big paw out there, batted it away. You see coming in, Lonnie Finch was hopeful of picking it off.
Pass intended for Gerard Green. Another underneath route that Gundy enjoys throwing.
4:43 to go in the quarter. 3rd and 14 for the Cowboys. They're on the 39 of Oklahoma. Their deepest penetration. Gundy. He's got Dykes off his fingertips, and a flag is thrown. The officials huddle on the call. Pass interference against Oklahoma. And Dean, you know, you think back to the Nebraska game when they had their little flip pass intercepted on the 1st and goal situation. And it's like Mike Gundy, even though it was a different situation, throw the ball long. If anything, you're not going to get it picked off in this situation and keep yourself in the ball game, and then you get a little help from the secondary here.
You're right, Bill, and Gundy scrambles right, and I'm sure he feels as confident as one can feel when you throw a ball that your man has 2 men around him. Oklahoma actually in pretty good position that time, but Dykes is so tough to handle. Oklahoma guilty of its 75th penalty on the season.
1st and 10 at the 25, thanks to the penalty. There's the full house backfield fumble, and Gundy recovers it. And the replay there, if you're sitting at home, you're saying, wait a minute, I didn't see any contact. The contact was made before we were able to pick up the players in the picture. And I think many of the fans here that were booing, all they saw was the end result where Dykes was 4 or 5 yards away from the defenders.
It was a good call. Those fans that were booing they're blind. They're the same people booing before OSU faked the punt.
2nd and 10 now at the 25 for Oklahoma State. Thurman Thomas to the 23.
Oklahoma State, though, Bill, is doing what we said they needed to do a few minutes ago when this drive started. They've been able to eat up some valuable time off the clock. 1st quarter clock down now around 3:40. Oklahoma has only had 1 possession.
Sooners scored on it. 51-yard drive in 9 plays. Holloway a 5-yard run. 7-0 Sooners. Clock moving now at 3:28. 3rd and 8 from the 23 of Oklahoma. Gundy to Thomas. Driven down hard at the 21 by Troy Johnson. He's made back-to-back tackles for the Sooners. And now, Kerry Blanchard will come on in the face of a stiff wind here at Owen Field. You see Hartley Dykes headed to the sidelines. Blanchard is 8 of 14, his longest a 51-yarder. And this one will be marked at the 28, making it a 38-yard field goal attempt. Straight shot. Long enough, and it's good. And for the first time in 3 years, Oklahoma State has scored against Oklahoma. It's 7-3. Sooners on top. We'll be back with the kickoff in just a moment.
Hello, this is Dean Blevins for Straight Line with Coach Barry Switzer.
Dean, I can do my own talking. That's what I do on Straight Line. You've got a Straight Line direct to me Thursday nights at 8 o'clock.
Well, give the coach a call. You can call him from your own home on Straight Line.
I already told him that, Dean. Just answer the phone and I'll give him the Straight Line.
Hey, watch the show. You'll love it.
When you cruise the city streets or racing the track, you want something hot, cause you ain't looking back. 25 in town, 65 an hour. It's Citgo Performer, it's Citgo Power. Mustang, the Yukon, Camaro, or Performer is great, it's the best it can be. Citgo Performer. sicko performer.
7-3. There's the time remaining in the first period. Oklahoma State on its second possession, coming up with a field goal from Kerry Blanchard. He toes it up, is ready to kick off the Sooners to get their hands on the ball for the second time today. Line drive. Bernard Hall finally picks it up. The 15, 20. Dives across to the 22-yard line. All the freshmen out of Detroit, Michigan.
The impressive drive that Oklahoma State just took in for a field goal, Bill, not only took off more than 7 minutes of the clock, and that's a big factor with the wind as much as a factor as it is, but Oklahoma State on first downs did not have much success. Their last 3 first downs, they were -4, -5, and 0. They overcame that.
Big play, of course, the fake punt that set things up for the Cowboys to get in scoring position. And the Sooners, 1st and 10 from the 27-yard line. Sim Drain makes the tackle on Rodney Anderson. Anderson, just 22 carries coming in here today, and he's already carried the football 3 times. He's averaging 7.2 a carry, scored a couple of touchdowns, and there's his afternoon's win. 2:21 to go in the first period. 2nd and 6 from the 31 for Oklahoma. Holloway. Collins. And he is knocked out of bounds at the 46-yard line. Patrick Collins from Tulsa, Washington. And Wade Weller makes the stop. It'll be 1st and 10 on the 46 for Oklahoma.
Here we see the play again. Holloway makes the proper read, gets the ball on the corner, that out of an unbalanced line.
Sooners operate again on 1st down. Holloway in the air to Jackson and overthrown. Jackson got behind the secondary. When is he not behind the secondary?
Well, Oklahoma, Bill, is going to try to take advantage of some mismatches. They feel that they will be able to get Keith Jackson in some one-on-one situations against Wade Weller. Now, the free safety is a factor at times, and that time Deckard got back at least in the vicinity, but Holloway was a little bit overthrown on that ball. Again, with 30-mile-an-hour plus prevailing wind, accuracy is difficult on long passes.
You see Holloway with a completion percentage not much, but 7 touchdown passes, and Charles Thompson has added a couple of that total, so the fact that Oklahoma doesn't throw that much can be deceiving. Very productive here. Here's Holloway on 2nd and 10 for the 46. He's to the 40, the 30, 25, and inside the 20-yard line. Jamel Holloway tackled by Weller. A 36-yard pickup by the Oklahoma quarterback.
Tremendous heads-up play by Holloway. Oklahoma State does some switching on the corner that I believe last year, Bill, would have been a play that would have confused Holloway. The Oklahoma quarterbacks have studied so extensively with Jim Donnan that I don't think they will be surprised at seeing anything. And Holloway had good patience, used good judgment, made a big play.
1st and 10 from the 18. And nothing doing as the fullback Rodney Anderson is stopped at the 15-yard line.
Now, that type of stunning defense that we just saw, the corner switching that we saw, is a gamble. I mean, sometimes it's going to pay off, sometimes it's not, and I think Oklahoma State feels that it will need to do some of that.
Ricky Shaw made the tackle on the play. Pickup of 3, so it wasn't entirely nothing doing, was it? 2nd and 7. 1:19 to go in the quarter. There's a look at the rushing yardage with Oklahoma, the nation's leader. You would expect such a figure. Holloway in trouble. Now Collins says thanks and gets back to the 20. And Oklahoma State stops it at the 18-yard line. Rod Smith and Wade Weller were there to control things.
Let's go, yeah!
Now, as Oklahoma had success in outsmarting the gambling defense a couple of plays ago, this time Oklahoma State comes out on the top end. So that's just what I was saying. Sometimes it's going to win, sometimes it's going to lose. That time Oklahoma State wins the mini battle. Forces a bad play.
3rd and 10 now as they lost 3 on that possession, and the ball at the 18 again. Holloway, Jackson, and overthrown. They'll bring on the field goal unit for the Sooners. Meaning R.D. Lasher hit on the PAT earlier. 7 of 9 in field goals. He'll set up for a 35-yarder. Slightly to the left, right on the hash mark. Enjoyed visiting with his brother Tim last night on Sports Scene. Hope you had a chance to catch the show. He has just signed a contract with the Chicago Bears for next year. RD's picked up where Tim left off. Freshman out of Plano. A walk-on. 35-yarder is good. And Oklahoma goes back up by 7 on Lasher's 35-yard field goal. And it is now 10-3 with 23 seconds remaining here in the first period.
You mentioned Tim Lasher, Bill. He had a career just against Oklahoma State. He had 10 field goals against the Cowboys alone. And obviously had the big game winner a few years ago back in Stillwater. Oklahoma State, Bill, in my opinion, to stop Oklahoma, will need to put them in second and long situations. I don't think that if Oklahoma gets in situations like they were a few minutes ago, that they will be able to convert to 2nd and 12, 2nd and 15 as easily as they have against, say, an Iowa State or Kansas.
Here's a look at the scoring drive. 55 yards, 8 plays. The big one, a 36-yard run by Holloway. And then Lasher connecting on the 35-yard field goal to make it 10-3. And what is nice for Oklahoma in this case is they kick off with a wind at their backs by scoring here at the end of the first quarter, which should keep the ball out of the hands of Sanders and Thomas, the great return people for Oklahoma State. In fact, I thought for a minute Sanders was going to be by himself, but now Thomas joins him. There is Barry Sanders out of Wichita North High School. And Todd Thompson booted off. Todd, a junior from Sepulveda, 6'1", 190-pounder. 10-3 Oklahoma as you take a look at how we see things from high atop Memorial Stadium. That guy could have put it down a tunnel. All 3 kickoffs have been in that same area. And the Cowboys will get the football back. 1st and 10 on their own 20-yard line, trailing 10-3.
Boston College on top of Notre Dame early, 17-12, third quarter. Third quarter.
Sure glad I don't bet. 1st and 10 for the Cowboys. Thomas hit hard. Dante Jones coming in from the linebacker spot. The senior out of Dallas creamed it.
That's the 4th consecutive play that Oklahoma State has failed to pick up plus yardage on its first down.
And we'll see the end of the first quarter as time ticks off. There it is, the end of period number 1 of the Bedlam series here in Norman. And the Cowboys are trailing the Sooners 10-0, 10-3 Oklahoma.
When you cruise the city streets or racing the track, you want something hot, cause you ain't looking back. 25 in town, 65 an hour. It's Citgo Performer, it's Citgo Power. Mustang, Yukon, Camaro, or Z. Performer is great, it's the best it can be. Citgo Performer, premium unleaded. It's the gas you need. It's fun is where you're headed. Citgo Performer. Citgo Performer.
In today's world, where the difference between promise and performance is often considerable, the Lincoln Town Car from South Park Lincoln Mercury delivers exactly what you'd expect. From the uncompromised room and comfort to the exceptionally smooth ride, the Lincoln Town Car has the look and presence that is truly distinctive. The Lincoln Town Car, the traditional 6-passenger luxury sedan. Test drive yours today at South Park Lincoln Mercury, 98th and South Memorial.
Oklahoma 10-3 later, and you see the breeze that is picked up here, but really a nice day for football. Not as warm as it was yesterday or most of the week, and we had rain last night here, but things have cleared off, and the wind is a factor. As Oklahoma State will have it 2nd and 13 to start the second period from their own 17-yard line, and Mike Gundy hands the football off. Thomas Again, stopped after a pickup to the 19. Give him 2 yards on the play. They're going to mark it to the 20, so 3. And Troy Johnson cut it for the tackle. Thomas, 8 carries and 18 yards on the afternoon. Thurman with 945 yards coming into the ball game, needing 55 to hit that 1,000 mark. Third 10 for the 20. Gundy put it up for grabs, and it went to the wrong guy. Oklahoma interception. Ricky Dixon, the free safety, a senior from Dallas, and the Sooners get the first real big break of the ball game.
Well, that's a mistake that Mike Gundy does not make often. Good pressure by Dillon, but he really just throws this one in a crowd, and there are 3 Sooners there at Hartley Dykes, and Dykes can do lots of things, but that was asking the impossible.
Especially considering the field position. Dykes, rather, Gundy let it go, and there's Dixon with interception number 5. Oklahoma on first down, comes to the right side.
Rodney Anderson getting lots of action early, Bill. I think that the staff of Oklahoma obviously feels good about him because Liddell Carr is a fine player, and he's not hurt.
Ron Williams made the tackle. There's Pat Jones as he realizes his ball club could be slipping into some trouble here. 10-3 Sooners, 13:53 to go, second quarter. And it's 2nd and 5 now. The ball on the Cowboy 20. Again, Anderson stopped at the 18-yard line. Picks up 2. It'll be 4th and 3 now. For the 3rd and 3. Kim Johnson makes the tackle for Oklahoma State.
Oklahoma was hoping to get Oklahoma State back into a conventional 5-2 or an Okie defense. They had done that, at least on that play, but Oklahoma State stuffed them pretty well, so the Cowboys playing better defensively.
Artie Guest goes to the top of your screen as the lone wide out here on 3rd and 3. And there's the first down for the Sooners as Sim Drain makes the tackle on Rodney Anderson. Anderson, 6'1", 210. He's a junior out of Dickinson, Texas. Defensive back in high school. He's running with great power there. Oklahoma has thrown 2 passes, yet to complete 1. They've done it all on the ground, and they're knocking on the door here with a 1st and 10 for the 12. Collins to the 3. Melvin Gillum makes the tackle.
That's exactly what Oklahoma was hoping it could do. Just line up and play conservative. Hit them in the mouth type football, Bill, where you just turn around and hand it to your halfback and run a power play and gain 8 or 10 yards.
There's Collins' work today with 21 yards. Patrick came in with 4:37 on the season. 2nd and 1 from the 3. Collins tried to dance outside and then fumbled the football, but after the whistle, I believe. Deckard and Smith were there. A fine play by Oklahoma State.
It's the same play. This time Deckard comes up, bounces off the blocker, makes a fine tackle. The player down.
And Patrick Collins, I believe, is the player that is down on the field at the 5-yard line. It'll be a 3rd and 3 call when we resume with the ball marked at the 5 for Oklahoma. 10-3 Sooners and 11:56 remaining to play here in the first half. I'd like to remind you at halftime, Rock Stewart will be our guest with the team selection committee of the Sun-Kissed Fiesta Bowl. And many believe that the Big 8 runner-up, Oklahoma or Nebraska, and that's ensuring that if Oklahoma will win today, would be the team that would go to the Fiesta Bowl. Find out if Rocks could give us any of that info and a little bit about the bowl situation in general. Collins is up and off the field on his own power. Boy, they think a lot of him here. One of the best all-around back.
Well, they love it. I was talking to Scott Hill this morning, Bill, before the ball game, and asked him which player he'd like to see the ball in the hands of the most. I started thinking of an Eric Mitchell or another scat back, and he says, no, it's Patrick Collins.
Join us from Lincoln, Nebraska the night before the OU Nebraska game on Sports Scene. Special guest that night scheduled to be Bob Devaney, Jerry Taggy, the one-time Nebraska All-American, Coach Switzer, local sports writers, and more. Friday, November 20th from 6 to 8. 3rd and 3, ball on the 5. Jackson just out of his reach from Holloway. Keith Jackson, who's already the career touchdown leader for a pass receiver with 14, was trying to make it 15. It's been this kind of year for Keith Jackson.
It sure has. Good play call here, Bill. Oklahoma executes well. The play is covered fairly well, but Jackson, with a well-thrown ball, would have caught that one as he could have caught all three. He was open on all three balls thrown him.
He had Melvin Gillum beat, and that'll bring on R.D. Lasher for a 22-yard field goal. Angle left. And it's no good. No good. So the Cowboys hold after having a pass interception. And that keeps OSU in the game. Timeout is called. And we'll take a look at the replay.
The ball was snapped in good shape. It's down in good shape. Just the old shank. You know what happens on the golf course occasionally.
I thought you put a golf club in my hand down there for a moment. Some sympathy for R.D. I know what he feels like.
Well, R.D.'s leg is a little more accurate than your golf swing, pardon me.
And also, while golfing, there aren't 75,000 watching. I never even hit the ball.
And Oklahoma's kicking game continues to give it problems.
Something that we mentioned earlier coming in, that Oklahoma State certainly the stronger of the two teams in that area. And I think a lot of people do just assume the return area. They don't think of the other side, and there is basically a chip shot field goal, even though the wind plays with you a little bit, but that's what we're talking about.
Good job, though, by the much maligned Oklahoma State defense. They're up against the nation's most prolific offensive machine, and they're able to shut down Oklahoma after the big turnover, as you had mentioned. So now Oklahoma State turns it around. They have the wind at its back. 10-3, only down 7.
Here's Mike Gundy with 11:28 to go in the period, and it's 10-3. 1st and 10 at the 20. And Oklahoma stuffs Barry Sanders at the 15-yard line. Scott Evans makes the tackle. Big freshman out of Edmond.
Not good execution in the backfield. This time Sanders and Gundy collide. I don't think that's a factor, though. I think Evans is already back there. Great Oklahoma pursuit, but it wasn't smooth.
See if Gundy throws it now. 2nd down. Ball on the 15. And again, that Oklahoma pursuit is there. Troy Johnson turned the play in, and Dante Williams was there to make the tackle.
Oklahoma State has used this play already several times, William, and I think that it fooled Oklahoma the first couple of times, but since that happened earlier in the game, Oklahoma has defended it quite well.
Sanders a loss of 1 on the play, and now it is 3rd and 16 from the 14. Gundy 2 of 4 today, 1 interception and just 17 yards passing. He averages better than 200 yards. And another broken play as they collide in the backfield, and Thomas is stopped at the 14 for no gain. Dante Williams and Curtis Williams there to make the tackle.
Well, it's almost a broken play. You're right. It appears that Gundy is wanting to go on one side of the ball carrier, and the ball carrier is wanting to go on the other, and they're meeting in between, and that doesn't give you much. But again, I don't think that had a handoff been executed perfectly, that play was going to open up.
So now Kerry Cooper stands on his own 1-yard line, and the Oklahoma receivers are at the 40. The wind at his back. And Charles Thompson is tackled at the 46-yard line. Flags are thrown, though. Derek Alexander made the tackle. 9:27 to play in the first half. 10-3 Sooners.
I would be surprised if this call does not go against Oklahoma. Clipping Oklahoma. You know, Jim Donnan was talking yesterday. We were asking him about all the penalties, Bill. He said, heck, last weekend his offense only had one. They've had so many in the kicking game, and defensively they've given up some penalties. At least last week they had the majority of them. I think Scott Hill is complaining that the whistle had already blown.
Well, the punt and the penalty now moves the ball back to the 31. 37-yard punt plus the penalty, and now things will be operating from the 31 for Oklahoma as the Sooners get the possession of the football for the 4th time. And the fumble, and Oklahoma State is recovered in midair. Jerry Deckard, I believe, is the guy that came up with the football, and the Cowboys get a big break. Rodney Anderson simply coughed it up, and Deckard was there to make the play. And we talk about him having a nose for the ball, Dean. I guess.
Good play by Oklahoma State defensively. I believe that was Kim Johnson that got a hand in on Anderson and forced the fumble. Whoever it was, a big play for the Cowboys. They've turned this thing around. It appeared a few minutes ago Oklahoma was going in to score to make it 17-3. Now the Cowboys only down 7 with the ball on their own 34. Oklahoma's 34, that is.
Gundy wants to throw. 5th time today. And it is nearly picked off the other way, and a flag is thrown deep in the secondary, though.
It'll be
Dante Jones saying, boy, if it had been an arrow, it would have killed me.
It will be interesting to see how this call goes. You can't see in your picture what the official has thrown the flag, why he has thrown the flag, but it has to do with Hartley Dykes. He was caught up with an Oklahoma cornerback. Oklahoma pointing toward Oklahoma State, and Dykes pointing to Oklahoma, and it appears it will go against the Cowboys.
Pat Jones looking for an explanation, and it is against Oklahoma State. So they cannot stand prosperity after getting the football in great position on the 34 and march it back a 15-yarder. They'll have it out near midfield now at the 49-yard line.
The Oklahoma's corners are so much more physical than anyone Oklahoma State has played, with the possible exception of Nebraska. They may cause Hartley Dykes a little frustration, a little concern.
You think the Cowboys will throw the ball now that they have better field position, and the fact that the wind is at their back as compared to the first quarter when just didn't put it up much at all?
I would think so. The wind is a major factor, and now they're in second and so long that I don't think they can avoid throwing the ball.
And a loss of down on that play is the other thing to remember. So it's 2nd and 25. Looking for Dykes. And the Sooners with Dixon and company back there managed to do it by committee, as Vickers also came over to help out, and that ball simply underthrown.
Oklahoma State coaches, Bill, Dykes was down the Oklahoma State boundary, and the coaching staff at Oklahoma State is saying that he was held the entire way. No flag. Bobby Proctor, I'm sure, on the other side is saying his men were in good shape.
J.R. Dillard comes off as Keith will alternate with him at the tight end. And the Cowboys now 3rd and 25 at the Oklahoma 49. Sooners lead it 10-3. OSU is yet to convert on a 3rd down situation. 0 of 5. On the draw, Thomas looks for an opening, 45, and gets down to the 40-yard line. Still way short of the first down, though. Dante Jones makes the tackle.
Unusual call in 3rd and long in many people's minds. I guess Pat is thinking that Thurman might be able to bust this for enough yardage to get in field goal position. But that will be a long field goal, even in a tornado.
And Kerry Cooper rushes on as they wait to the last moment to hopefully cause some confusion on Oklahoma's punt. Left foot. Puts it out of bounds. And they're going to mark it. Let's see where they mark it. The 24, I believe.
No, I believe it's the 16 or 17.
Actually, 16-yard line, so didn't get exactly what he wanted on the pooch kick, but at least got it inside the 20-yard line. We'll take a timeout here with our score 10-3. Oklahoma, 8:28 to play in the half.
There's a new standard of excellence in automobile dealerships in Tulsa. It's South Park Lincoln Mercury at 98th and South Memorial. Years of detailed planning have produced the most modern facility in the Southwest. From the ultra-modern service department to the unique showroom in the round, South Park was designed with you, the customer, in mind. See South Park Lincoln Mercury today. The new standard of excellence at 98th and South Memorial.
When you cruise the city streets or racing the track, you want something hot, cause you ain't looking back. 25 and down to 65 an hour. Citgo Performer and Citgo Power. Mustang, the Yukon, Camaro, or Z. Performer is great, it's the best it can be. Citgo Performer. Premium unleaded. It's the gas you need. As far as where you're headed. Citgo Performer. Citgo Performer.
Welcome back. We missed one play as we were away on the break, and here's a look at it, a fumble. Holloway, and the Sooners do recover the football, though. It'll be second down and 12, the ball on the 14-yard line. Oklahoma getting possession after a 24-yard punt.
Holloway has bobbled several snaps this year. That has not hurt Oklahoma thus far, but it will in big ball games, and it might here.
Holloway, 15, and to the 18-yard line. Jerry Deckard makes the tackle. Two teams have each turned the ball over once. OSU on an interception and OU last time on a fumble by Anderson, but Oklahoma State had an offensive pass interference call that put them back and took them out of field goal range. So neither team has been hurt by the mistake. 3rd and 9, ball on the 17 as you look at Barry Switzer looking for victory number 146 today. The pass, Bud Wilkinson. Holloway, 20, 25, and out to the 28-yard line. First down, Oklahoma. Marco Moore makes the tackle.
Oklahoma, one of the few teams that has the guts and the ability to call it just a straight option play in 3rd and 8+. Jamel Holloway makes 8.5.
Not too different from Sandlot. Quarterback around the right end on 2.
Go and just make a little over 8.
1st and 10 at the 28 for Oklahoma, leading 10-3. Fumble again. Cowboys signal they've got it. Anderson, the ball carrier. And right now the ball is in the hands of John Phillips, and nobody's going to get away from him. Some of the faithful here. Another sellout crowd here at Owen Field.
First of all, Holloway bobbles the snap a little, and then another bobble by Rodney Anderson. A little sloppy and some good defense there.
Moore made the tackle. I couldn't see who actually caused the fumble, though. Slight delay now with it 2nd and 3. The ball at the 35. And now we'll start the clock. 6:22 to go. Oklahoma scoring on a 5-yard run by Holloway on the Sooners' first possession. And now in the I formation and the 2 wideouts to the top of your screen. And finally a timeout is called by the Sooners.
Holloway a little unsure of what he needed to do there.
Best on the headset. We'll talk to the gang upstairs.
Jim Donnan, his quarterback coach, is the one talking to him right now. Donnan and Holloway have an excellent relationship. Jim, an easygoing guy. Bill, you've gotten to know him a little bit, and it's really important that the players respect their coaches. That's not always the case, and it certainly is in the case of Jim Donnan and his troops.
Oklahoma will have Missouri here next weekend before the big game against Nebraska. And Oklahoma State travels to Kansas next Saturday before they close up at home in Stillwater against Iowa State.
Collins Collins and Carr, Bill, both have minor knee injuries. I say minor. We do not know exactly how severe the injuries are, but it had certainly appeared as Patrick Collins was off the field, getting off the field, that it was not serious. That may be the reason may be the reason they are in the I formation.
2nd and 3 at the 35. Well, Oklahoma State's kept it close this afternoon. It's 10-3. And a wishbone this time, and Anderson to the 41. Deckard makes the tackle for the Cowboys. Carr's right knee is in a splint, and he will be out for the remainder of the ballgame. Hopefully just that if you're an OU fan. There's a look at Deckard stopping Anderson.
Deckard playing well. He's replacing a fine player. We mentioned how important the free safeties play is. Last year, Mark Moore, Bill, was a very good player.
1st and 10 at the 42. 5:51 to go in the half. Holloway. Still moving out to the 48-yard line where Sim Drain, the sophomore from Stillwater, makes the tackle. Holloway, the Big 8 Offensive Player of the Year last year. Steve Taylor has told him, I'm better than you are this year, and they'll find out November 21 up in Lincoln, Nebraska. Hard to believe anybody's much better for his team than this guy right here.
Good player. He does it. You have to do it your way. A faster quarterback would probably have extended that play out left to the boundary. Holloway knows his abilities. He cuts in, and he's a strong 190-pounder.
2nd and 4 at the 48. And up the middle they go. As Anderson, a game of ball carrier. Jerry Deckard makes the tackle. Anderson a year ago, 280 yards rushing, including a 60-yarder in the UCLA game. And rushed for 92 yards against Kansas State with 3 touchdowns for the season. This year he came in with 158. He's getting his most extensive work by far.
He is, and if Jerry Deckard has as many tackles as it appears he will have by the end of the ballgame, that's not a good sign.
No, it isn't. Not when your safeties make it. 1st and 10 at the 44 as Oklahoma marches with Anderson again across the 40 to the 38-yard line. Robert Nunn makes the tackle, senior from Apache, Texas. Anderson averaging 5 per carry, and you notice 11 carries. That's half of his season total coming in. There's the rushing yardage today with Oklahoma, 173 yards rushing already. Holloway with a pitch. And to the 34 is Anthony Stafford. His first carry today, I believe. Stafford, the junior from St. Louis, 5'7", 175 pounds.
A pretty good job by Milton Cockrell, Bill, here on the corner. Watch number 8. He gets outside 4 times this year. Stafford has fumbled the ball after good pitches from Holloway into the boundary like that. Scott Hill was saying he thinks it might be a lack of concentration. That time Anthony takes it in, picks up yardage, and they'll measure.
From all the way across from the Oklahoma sideline to measure on the Cowboy line. 4:11 remaining in the half, and good news, Collins is back in the game, so his injury is certainly not too severe, and it's a 1st down for Oklahoma.
Cecil Samara, the one and only. Bill, Rodney Anderson in at fullback for Carr is a talented player. Many believe that he will battle Leon Perry for the starting position next year. Has real good speed, has fumbled a little, and he's done that a couple of times today.
1st and 10 from the 34 for the Sooners. Holloway on the keeper, the 30, 25, is a block and got it, and then gets inside the 15, knocked out of bounds at the 13-yard line. Melvin Gillum was there for the Cowboys. .22-yard pickup by Holloway. His 36-yard run keyed the last OU score, a field goal by Lasher. Now his 22-yarder puts him in position to take it in again.
The offensive line successfully walls off the interior. Holloway on the corner. You don't see some of the good blocks, but he gets several, and Melvin Gillum forced to make the touchdown-saving tackle.
1st and 10, they mark it at the 12. Out of the wishbone. Anderson. just across the 10-yard line. Vernon Victor, 6'2" sophomore, makes the tackle for the Cowboys.
The old bend but don't break theory has been used by Oklahoma State, as there you see Coach Switzer on the sideline. This is the 4th time the Sooners have been inside the 20 of OSU. Oklahoma has not punted a time in the ballgame, Bill, yet at this point they only have 10 points.
2nd and 8 from the 10. A fumble. And Oklahoma State has recovered the football. We wait for the official. Yes, it's Cowboy ball. Melvin Gillum comes up with it for the Cowboys. Well, Gillum's had a couple of big plays this year. He had 3 interceptions coming in. His first fumble recovery of the year, and it couldn't come at a better time if you're a Cowboy fan. Here's a look at it.
The ball comes in a little high on Anderson's shoulder pads, and it's not as though some people may say that Anderson has not had any time to execute with Holloway at quarterback. They rotate those fullbacks in and out with the 2 quarterbacks, so that's not the case. It's just a matter of the ball coming in a little high on the pads and a bobble.
So Oklahoma on its last 3 possessions, a missed field goal, fumble, and fumble, after starting off with a touchdown and a made field goal. Up the middle is Thomas, out to the 17, making the 16. Dante Williams there to tackle Thurman. Well, we talked at the beginning of the game about Oklahoma State having to slow things offensively, Dean. They really haven't done that, but when Oklahoma turns the ball over, whether it be of their own or by the causing of the Cowboy defense, it gives OSU a chance to take advantage of it, and we got a ball game on our hands with 2:56 to go in the half. 2nd and 3 from the 16. Thomas found the opening, 20, nice cut to the 25, 30, 40, it'll be a foot brace if he cannot get by in the secondary. Lonnie Finch, I thought he was going to make the one spurt to get by Lynch, and had he, it'd have been a touchdown. Finch saved that for Oklahoma. What a move by Thurman Thomas when he came through this initial group of blockers.
Big play by the Cowboys. You can contain Thurman Thomas only so long. Oklahoma has contained him well so far today. That time he pops outside for better than a 40-yard gain.
41 yards to the 43-yard line of OU. 2:38 remaining here in the half, and Gundy wants to throw and is scrambling. Off the hands of Limbrick out of the backfield. Would have been a circus catch if Limbrick would have brought it down, and now some words down on the sideline between Reed and Limbrick.
Oklahoma is taking away the slant and the short game to Hartley Dykes. That time on the corner, Lonnie Finch does a good job. Gundy has to improvise William. He does so, doesn't convert, but still doesn't lose anything.
2nd and 10, the ball at the 43 of Oklahoma. Sooners leading 10-3. Gundy. Complete at the 25 and out of bounds at the 21-yard line, Gerard Green. Sophomore from Port Arthur, Texas, and the Cowboys are fired up. Finch was covering on the play.
Pat Jones wanting a late hit call. He won't get that, but he will get the big play. Gerard Green, Bill, it looks like he was expecting some pressure from behind, and he could have turned this ball up and gotten a little bit farther.
22-yard pickup for the Cowboys on the play.
And Pat Jones had a legitimate complaint.
Would agree with you. 1st and 10 at the 21 now for Oklahoma State. Thomas tripped up at the 19. Scott Evans for Oklahoma and Curtis Williams. Thomas has just passed Little Joe, as in Joe Washington, and Big 8 career rushing for 3rd place in all-time rushing. There's a look at the senior out of Missouri City, Texas. 2nd and 8, the ball at the 19 of the Sooners. Cowboys trail 10-3, 1:53 to go in the half. Gundy in big trouble, escapes one man, buys some more time, and did Williams get hit on an interception by Oklahoma. Dante Jones. Oklahoma will have the football with 1:41 to go in the half.
When you cruise the city streets or racing the track, you want something hot, cause you ain't looking back. 25 in town, 65 an hour. It's Citgo Performer, it's Citgo Power. Mustang, the Yukon, Camaro, or Z. Performer is great, it's the best it can be. Citgo Performer, premium unleaded. It's the gas you need. It's fun, is where you're headed. Citgo Performer. Citgo Performer.
In today's world, where the difference between promise and performance is often considerable, the Lincoln Town Car from South Park Lincoln Mercury delivers exactly what you'd expect. From the uncompromised room and comfort to the exceptionally smooth ride, the Lincoln Town Car has the look and presence that is truly distinctive. The Lincoln Town Car, the traditional 6-passenger luxury sedan. Test drive yours today at South Park Lincoln Mercury, 98th and South Memorial.
Welcome back. Bill and Dee Blevins with you. 1:41 remaining here in the half, and we had an illegal motion call against Oklahoma's Mike McKinley in the lineup, I think for the first time today. So Oklahoma, though, on the interception by Finch, gets the football back to stop an Oklahoma State drive that included a 41-yard run by Thomas, a 22-yard pass play to Green, a completion to, well, looked like it was going to be a completion to Williams, bounces off to rules as an interception for Dante Jones. He had a touchdown on an interception a year ago, so big plays, nothing new in this game for him. And now it is 2nd and 12 as Oklahoma State declined the penalty. They want the football back. Holloway says no. The 30, 35, 40, 45, and out of bounds on the Cowboys sideline of midfield. Rod Smith ran him out. What's interesting here, Dean, is at one moment the Cowboys are thinking, hey, stop him here, work the clock, get the ball back. One play, and now Oklahoma's thinking, conserve time, use the timeouts to hopefully get in the end zone.
Holloway, one of the explosive backs, Bill, that can make those types of things happen. Oklahoma, probably the only team in the country that will try to take the ball in less than a minute and a half, some 75, 80 yards, and not even throw it. At least they have not thus far.
37-yard run by Holloway. First and 10 at the 50. 3 receivers out now, so Holloway will go back. Blocked at the line of scrimmage, intended for Keith Jackson over the middle.
Oklahoma 0 for 4 in the first half. All 4 attempts have been to Keith Jackson.
Kim Johnson, who just moved over to the defensive side at the Missouri game 2 weeks ago, is the man, I believe, that got a hand on that football.
In the second quarter, Colorado 10, Missouri nothing.
Colorado leading Missouri 10-0 in the second quarter. Interesting game between two teams that are struggling to get over the hump. We have a timeout called, Oklahoma, with 1:12 remaining, and the Sooners leading it 10-3. Jamel Holloway will head to the sideline to visit with his coaching staff. It's some first half. I don't know if it's quite what we expected, Dean, but a lot of exciting plays.
It's been a good first half, and I think that Coach Pat Jones will go to the locker room feeling good about what has happened in the first half. There you see Barry Switzer on your left, Mike Jones in the middle, the receivers coach, Scott Hill, the running backs coach, and recruiting coordinator with Jamel Holloway. You know, Jim Donnan was telling us yesterday, Bill, that he feels that the passing game at Oklahoma has been underrated, that it is underrated. He was saying that they have thrown, Oklahoma's thrown 9 touchdowns to Gundy's completed for so many yards, but he only has 10 touchdowns. But today, Oklahoma has not thrown the ball well at all.
Sooners, after opening the game with a 51-yard drive for a touchdown, and then Oklahoma State coming back, as opening the game with their first possession. Oklahoma State was forced to punt on its opening possession. Sooners scored a touchdown. OSU countered with a field goal from Blanchard of 38 yards. Then the Sooners a field goal from Lasher to make it 10-3. And since then, we've had interceptions, fumbles, and punts. 2nd and 10 at the 50, following the timeout. Flag is thrown. Holloway looking up the middle, and it is intercepted by Weller, knocked away by Wade Weller. Thought he was going to come down with it, but hit the turf and the ball popped out. Chris Cavanis, the intended receiver.
Oklahoma unsure of itself. seemed a little bit unorganized. Holloway had to use the timeout and come back, and now there's another penalty. Weller almost with the interception, and this play would have stood.
But instead, it comes back. It'll be 2nd and 15 now. The ball on the 45.
And it would not surprise me to see Oklahoma go back to the option rather than trying to put the ball in the air. But they're back in the one-back set.
1:05 remaining. Concerned about the time, and Oklahoma just 1 timeout remaining. Holloway, nothing doing. He's brought down on the 43-yard line, and the Cowboys get fired up as Ricky Shaw and David Bailey make the tackle for a loss. Shaw had 4.5 sacks coming in and picks up another one here. 3rd down and 18 with 40 seconds and counting here, and the Cowboys, who have all 3 timeouts, are not going to try to stop the clock. So it looks like we're going to go to the locker room with a 10-3 count here. And a delay of game penalty be called now against Oklahoma. That stops things with 18 seconds remaining.
I'm sorry, but I'm confused.
You're saying stop the clock if you're Oklahoma State.
Well, no, I'm talking about Oklahoma. Yeah, I'm thinking Oklahoma
Either
State.
way.
Why doesn't Oklahoma State stop the clock, make Oklahoma with a very suspect kicking game have to kick the ball to you? You have a chance to, with the wind and an excellent passing game, score. But at the same time, I'm as confused about Oklahoma. Jamel Holloway standing there with his hands on his hips, looking at the sideline, not knowing what's going on, and you give up and delay a game.
And now they will operate on 3rd and 23. Anderson, the 43. And that will be the last play of the half, I presume. Oklahoma State calls timeout now. Well, now if you call timeout, why did you call timeout with a minute to play so you have a couple chances to run the football?
I don't know.
That's why we're up here and they're down there. This telecast of the Oklahoma Sooners versus the Oklahoma State Cowboys is intended for private residential pay-per-view cable subscribers only. Any retransmission or rebroadcast of this telecast without the express written consent of the University of Oklahoma, Oklahoma State University, and Tulsa Cable Sports is prohibited. So, with 13 seconds to go, the Cowboys will get the football back. Todd Thompson is on to punt it for Oklahoma, the junior out of Sapulpa. Thompson with a high top shoe on the right foot. Todd's a smart young man. He surely doesn't have one colored shoe on one foot and one on another, reminding which way to kick with, does he? Cowboys went for the block, did not get it, and the ball will roll now to the 25 or 26-yard line. So with time expiring here, that's the end of the first half. Strange final minute. If you can figure it out, give us a call. We'll take some calls at halftime. 10-3, Oklahoma on top of Oklahoma State. It's been exciting, I can tell you that. Maybe not what anybody expected coming in here this afternoon. We'll be back to talk about the first half. Also, our halftime guest, Rock Stewart of the Fiesta Bowl, in a moment.
There's a new standard of excellence in automobile dealerships in Tulsa. It's South Park Lincoln Mercury at 98th and South Memorial. Years of detailed planning have produced the most modern facility in the Southwest. From the ultra-modern service department to the unique showroom in the round, South Park was designed with you, the customer, in mind. See South Park Lincoln Mercury today. The new standard of excellence at 98th and South Memorial.
Find anyone, even someone who's lending you money, to be as knowledgeable about the day-to-day operations. Hassles I've been through, I never thought I would find a banker who cared to learn anything about my business. All the years I've been in business, I think F&M is the first bank that ever came to me instead of me going to them. I like that.
Halftime here in Norman with Oklahoma and Oklahoma State going at it in the Bedlam series. Oklahoma with a 10-3 lead in the first half. Jamel Holloway with a touchdown, Lasher with a field goal. Our first half of action has been brought to you by Citgo and Citgo Gasoline Retailers. The Oklahoma State band takes the field. In a moment, the Sooner band will be coming out here at halftime as the Sooners on top 10-3, a 29-point favorite coming into the ball game. But certainly it has been a surprising first half, Dean, and really a very confusing final minute. I'm not trying to second-guess either coaching staff, whatever. I'm just trying to figure out exactly what was happening there.
Well, Oklahoma had moved the ball up the field. Holloway had the big run, and I said that they had not thrown the ball. That's when they ran into trouble. They tried to throw the ball. They had no success, and then the clock continued to run. Oklahoma got confused. They had made some turnovers, and Holloway had to use a couple of timeouts. Oklahoma State did not utilize it. They did not take the opportunity of taking a timeout. Had they done that, they might have gotten the ball back with enough time to mount a threat. They did not. Oklahoma goes ahead and lets it run out, and they almost got a kick block at the end of the half.
I don't know, maybe Pat Jones was thinking, hey, we're within a touchdown. Let's just go ahead, be content, regroup, and see what we can come up with. Yet at the last timeout might have been, if we block this thing, then we do get the ball back and a chance for a last-second field goal with no opportunity to lose the ball again. The way both teams have played and a little bit sloppily at the end of the second quarter, maybe that was the thinking.
Maybe so, and I'm sure Pat is happy to go in down 10-3 because this team is certainly in the middle of this ball game. The way Oklahoma, with Carr out, they've had some injuries, they've had some penalties, and I'm sure right now he feels he has a good chance to win this game, and they almost did get the block.
And you look at Oklahoma State starting out the ball game and being stuffed in the first 3 plays, kicking the ball. Sooners get it at the 51, take it in, and it looks like here comes Nebraska again, where they got down 14-0 and never recovered. But they did come back, get the field goal, and seemed to give them a little bit of confidence.
Well, Oklahoma only punted one time. It hurt itself again with the penalties that it has had problems with all year, with the fumbles, but they didn't get but 10 points on the board. Oklahoma State gave up a lot of yards, but not many points. Oklahoma State offensively, Bill, had some success, but they didn't have success on first down. It's amazing to me that they were able to move the ball at all, putting themselves in such a hole. I believe it was the first 6 times in the ball game on first downs that they had the ball that they gained negative yardage. Thurman Thomas finally busted a couple of big plays, and we're going to have a ball game.
Well, we talked about the weather being a factor. The wind really is, considering Oklahoma State's passing game, and they basically threw it, I think, 3 times in the first quarter was all. Then Gundy came a little bit more alive in the second quarter when the wind at his back.
Well, Holloway just did not throw the ball well. His people were open. There's one guy he's throwing the ball to. That's Keith Jackson. He was open 4 different times, and the ball was not delivered to Jackson in a catchable position. Gundy got away with a major league error. Have not seen many Gundy errors like that one that was intercepted by Oklahoma, but Oklahoma was not able to capitalize.
Let's take a look at the opening touchdown of the ballgame, the only touchdown of the ballgame, scored by Jamel Holloway, and he had everyone faked out here.
Good execution. Fullback stunt. Holloway reads it, gets around the corner. Everyone's walled off, and Patrick Collins makes a good block. Holloway in untouched.
That made it 7-0. And Oklahoma State then on its next possession appeared to have the drive stalled, going into a stiff wind, fake punt on 4th down and 2.
Great play. It's even an option play. And the punter picks up some valuable yard. You know, he's looking for the boundary. He knows he has the first. He's just trying to get out of bounds.
And that made the score. Following that, the drive did stall, but a field goal was made by Oklahoma State to make it 7-3. And then Oklahoma came right back with Lasher hitting on a 35-yard field goal to give us our halftime score of 10-3. We're going to take a brief break. When we come back, we'll have a chance to visit with one of the Fiesta Bowl representatives, Rock Stewart. We'll do that right after this. Third quarter ready to start. Oklahoma State will kick off the football. Oklahoma will be receiving at the north end. Our second half action between the Sooners and the Cowboys brought to you by Thrifty Carmel. In Tulsa, there are 2 convenient Thrifty locations to serve you. And by Arby's. Taste the Arby's difference. Sooners will receive, and they'll be going into the gusting wind here at Owen Field, which means that Oklahoma State will have the wind in its face in the 4th quarter. That's important with their passing game. You can see that the Cowboys had no trouble, like Oklahoma, with that wind at its back, booting it into the end zone and over. And Bernard Hall, let it go. Oklahoma 1st and 10 on its own 20-yard line.
Oklahoma seems a little frustrated. They would like nothing better, Bill, than to take the ball 80 yards and score on the first possession. The wind is not a major factor against the wishbone. Obviously, you don't throw the ball with a great deal of success. It can't hurt you much. And Oklahoma would like to take it, use up a lot of clock, so that Oklahoma State will not have the wind for much of the quarter.
Patrick Collins stopped at the 22. We'll give you some scores here quickly as often as we can to start things off, as Bailey made the tackle on that play. Nebraska leads Iowa State 28-0 in the second. Colorado leading Missouri 17-3. That's also in the second. Kansas State 7, Kansas 0 in the second. Syracuse 20, Navy 3 in the third. Georgia beating Florida 23-10 in the fourth. Indiana 24, Illinois 22 in the fourth. Second and 8 at the 22 for the Sooners. Holloway with a pitch. Stafford to the 32-yard line. First down, Oklahoma. David Bailey makes the tackle.
Big time run here by Stafford. He's able to slither to a couple of defenders. Patrick Collins on the bump out block. Good cut inside by Stafford. Picks up the first. Jerry Deckard had a good first half, William. He led OSU with 7 tackles, playing very well from his free safety position.
Notre Dame beat Boston College 32-25, a final. Up the middle, a pickup of around 3 for Rodney Anderson. Michigan State beat Purdue, or is beating Purdue 31-3 in the third. Ohio State 17, Wisconsin 13 in the second. Arkansas trailing Baylor 7-3 at the half. Texas Tech leading TCU 21-14 at the half. Second down and 7, the ball on the 34. Opening possession of the second half with Oklahoma leading 10-3. Sooners football. Fake to Anderson, Holloway on the option, and he is brought down at the 31 by Jerry Deckard. What an afternoon he's having. Now, if he has those kind of tackles all day, Dean, the Cowboys be in great shape. But unfortunately for OSU, most of his tackles have come because he's a safety in the secondary.
True. Now, that's a super play there. He saw Holloway optioning left and zipped up from his free safety position, closed the gap quickly, and made a good open field tackle. Not many people have been able to bring Jamel Holloway down one-on-one very often, but most of his tackles, as you have said, have been after the Oklahoma player had gained 5 yards or more.
Oklahoma 3 of 6 in third down conversions, and on a 3rd and 8, it'll be close out to the 41-yard line. Just past that point, Deckard and Weller there to make the tackle on Stafford. Anthony Stafford came in with 466 yards rushing, averaging 7.8 a carry. We talk about key parts of the game in the first part of the second half. And so if any of that makes sense, this measurement is a big play.
I don't think he made it. Third down plays are big, and you gave Oklahoma's percentage. Oklahoma State was 0 of 7 in the first half on third down conversions.
Less than a yard, and we'll take a look at the block by Keith Jackson that made this play happen.
Jackson does it all. Here he does a very good job of walling off his man, Ricky Shaw. It's a good game, but needed 8.
So it is 4th down and 1. And Oklahoma will go for it. At the 41 of the Sooners, leading 10-3.
And this is a little riskier than Oklahoma normally plays.
Anderson hit hard, still on his feet, and it'll depend on the measurement where they place the ball. David Bailey made the tackle. The Cowboys feel they've stopped him. would imagine they'll bring on the change. Let's find out. What do you think, Dean? Yes or no?
I don't know. I didn't think he made it when they blew the whistle, but I think they gave Oklahoma a favorable spot. I still believe that Oklahoma State held them and will get the ball. I think that shows Oklahoma's frustration. They feel that they have the superior team, and not many times would Barry Switzer into a big win like that. And Oklahoma State does get the ball. Not many times would he go for it in that situation. The percentages are just not with you long-term playing that type of football.
So, Oklahoma State gets the football. The Cowboys hold. They get it 1st and 10 on the Oklahoma 41. And with the wind at the back of quarterback Mike Gundy, who in the first half was just threw a guy, he hands it off to Thomas. He got to the 40-yard line, the 35, I should say, before he was knocked out by Derek White. 12:33 to go here in the 3rd period. Number 1 ranked Oklahoma against the 12th ranked Oklahoma State Cowboys, and there's Thomas having a great afternoon. Hope you've enjoyed our pay-per-view 6-pack of football games this year. It's been our pleasure to bring you the ball games, and a real pleasure to bring you this dandy so far. Get those stats, you see, the Cowboys have a chance to tie up the game. Thomas pulls his way. 2nd and 4. He picked up a couple. Richard Dillon and Dante Jones helped finish him off.
Dante Jones, quite a player, great ability to move in traffic, and he probably does it here well in this replay. Real good vision, thick, physical player. Dillon's a dandy as well. Dillon's coming off with that knee injury, Bill, and is progressing nicely.
Thomas over 1,000 yards rushing for the season. Big 3rd down and 1. They haven't made a 3rd down yet today. And it doesn't look like they did here either, as Thomas was stuffed that time. Darren Kilpatrick was there making the play, and Troy Johnson. So now, if you're Pat Jones, the Cowboys, big 4th down and 1, what do you do?
Well, I don't know. It'll be around a 50-yard field goal. If they were to attack, though. Yeah. In a game like this, it is a game of field position, and when Oklahoma State defeated Oklahoma on this field back in 1976, Cliff Parsley was the punter for Oklahoma State, and he continually had Oklahoma backed up in its end zone, Bill, and it just makes it very difficult to try to take that wishbone the length of the field without an error.
That was the last OSU victory, as you mentioned, in the series. Oklahoma 63, 12, and 6 ties, and a timeout is called by Oklahoma State, and good call by Pat Jones. He realizes what a pivotal part of the ball game this could be. We'll be back with the decision right after this.
The evolution of the burger. First, there was cheese, then pickles, lettuce, tomato, special sauce. Then, for something really different, back to lettuce and tomato. Wow, what progress. Listen, if you want something truly different, try Arby's Philly Beef and Swiss. Lean, tender roast beef topped with roasted peppers, onions, and melted Swiss. The Philly Beef and Swiss. It's not evolutionary, it's revolutionary.
All right, listen and listen tight, because I aim to do what I came here to do, and that is rent a car without having to throw in my horse and saddle to do it. That's why I came to Thrifty Car Rental. Well, they don't cost as much as them other yahoos.
Thrifty weekends here in Tulsa start as low as $14.99 a day. See your phone book and call Thrifty today.
You always get the best deal at Thrifty. Right, Pilgrim?
The ball placed at the 32-yard line of Oklahoma, and like the Sooners a moment ago, Pat Jones and the Cowboys elects to go for it. 4th and 1 at the 32. Gundy fakes to Thomas and can't complete it to Sanders. Oklahoma holds, and the Sooners get the football back.
Great play by Darrell Reed that time. Great feet on this guy, Bill. He really moves well, and I like the play call, though. Most people think you hammer it up the middle. Oklahoma State fakes the dive. It doesn't work. I still like the play call, and had Darrell Reed not made a good job, done a good job in containing Gundy, the play probably would have worked.
So 2 critical calls. The defenses answer here. And Oklahoma gets it back, 1st and 10 on its own 32. Holloway hands off up the middle. And Stafford is stopped by Rocco Moore and Sim Drain.
Although the Oklahoma State defense has given up lots of yardage, you know that it has to feel good about itself, Bill, and I see confidence growing on that side of the football.
Beg your pardon, Rodney Anderson, the ball carrier. And if you're wondering where's Liddell Carr, he had his knee put in a splint early in the ball game and will not be back the rest of the afternoon. Holloway looks things over. 2nd and 6 at the 36 of the Sooners. 10:43 to go in the quarter. It's 10-3 Oklahoma. Anderson powers to nearly the 45-yard line. Deckard and Kim Johnson, the tacklers for Oklahoma State. Oklahoma won 19-0 last year here on 4 Tim Lasher field goals. An interception for a touchdown by Dante Jones. Of course, the 85 game was the Ice Bowl victory by Oklahoma in Stillwater on one of the nastiest nights ever in college football. The Sooners were winners in that one also. 1st and 10 call. Rocco Moore makes the tackle.
Marcus Jones doing a good job up front for Oklahoma State. William, hard worker. Good potential. Redshirt junior out of Port Arthur.
Rodney Anderson has already had 2, I know of, maybe 3 carries this half. Gives him 17 for the ball game. When's the last time any OU running back got 25 to 30 rushes in a game?
Been a while.
Holloway keeps this time for the 49, where Sim Drain makes the tackle on a 2nd and 8 call, and will be a 3rd and around 6 here for Oklahoma. It just kind of shows the philosophy of this game plan, Dean, though, of hammering away up the middle.
Ron Williams, not Ronnie Williams. Ron Williams, number 49, the defensive end, that time on the short side of the field, did a good job of containing Holloway, forcing him back up. And he was forced to play a little bit last year, Bill, and played well. Ron Williams here at Oklahoma.
Holloway had 26 carries against Colorado this year. In case you were wondering the question. 3rd and 6 of the 49. Janelle looks to throw the football. That's Cavanis, and Gillum takes it away from him at the 20. 25 going the wrong way, looking for a block from Deckard, and Cavanis bulldogs him down at the 31-yard line. Melvin Gillum out of Tulsa, Washington, takes it away from a former Tulsa Union player, and the Cowboys get the ball back.
And the passing game for Oklahoma once again does not work. This time, Cavanis, Bill, on a post pattern, is double teamed, is not open. Holloway throws it anyway. And Melvin Gillum, one of the finer athletes on the field, comes up with a big interception. Doesn't return it for many yardage, but he sure enjoyed the time he had the ball.
Had a fumble recovery earlier in the ball game. Now he gets his 4th interception of the year, and the Cowboys get the ball back. This has not been an artistic success today, but sure has been fun. OSU 1st and 10 on its own 31, trailing 10-3. Thomas dives across for a yard or 2.
Oklahoma going against its game plan. They said, Oklahoma, the coaches said that they had to show extreme patience. And I know they are totally frustrated in this game after rushing for a good amount of yardage in the first half, only having 10 points on the board. And this time here in the second half, they feel like, obviously they called the play for a reason, but it doesn't show a lot of patience, and an interception results.
8:16 and counting here in the 3rd period. 2nd and 8 for Mike Gundy and crew. Receivers both to the lower part of your screen. Thomas. Troy Johnson makes the tackle.
Troy Johnson, very strong player, leg squats, almost 700 pounds. He's more of a, he uses his raw strength, Bill, to the best of his ability, and he has a lot of them.
2nd team all-conference in the Big 8 a year ago.
Reed is more of a finesse player.
Johnson, just more raw strength.
Probably underrated because some of the publicity goes to Reed. OSU will face a third down as a timeout is called by the Sooners. It'll be 3rd and 6 at the 35, with Oklahoma leading 10-3.
Listen, sweetheart, have you any idea what would happen if you rent a car from somebody other than Thrifty? Chances are they'd cost too much. If you don't rent from Thrifty, you'll regret it. Maybe not today, maybe not tomorrow, but soon for the rest of your life.
If your car's in the shop, remember Thrifty has low Tulsa insurance-approved rates. Thrifty features a variety of new Chrysler cars to choose from. See your phone book for the Thrifty nearest you.
Thrifty, this is the start of a beautiful friendship.
You're going to find anyone, even someone who's lending you money, to be as knowledgeable about the day-to-day operations. Hassles I've been through, I never thought I would find a banker who cared to learn anything about my business. All the years I've been in business, I think F&M is the first bank that ever came to me instead of me going to them. I like that.
There's our situation, third quarter action. No scoring here in the second half so far. All of the scoring came in this game. The 3 scores in the first 4 possessions of the football game in the first quarter. There's Barry Switzer as he looks on. 3rd and 6, ball on the 35. That's not Barry. I don't think he's taking pictures. Cowboys, big third down, the old 8 third down conversion and make it 0 of 9. Kilpatrick and Johnson hammer Gundy. And Oklahoma State will have to kick it away.
Oklahoma State could be ahead or certainly very much in the ball. They're very much in the game. They could be tied or ahead if they would just have more success in throwing the ball. Again, Gundy back looking for Hartley Dykes, but Oklahoma's secondary has really throttled him. This time, Kenny McMitchell does a good job.
Kerry Cooper back on his own 11-yard line to punt it away. Cowboys are averaging 31 yards per punt this afternoon. Hall with a fair catch slides at the 37-yard line, and that's where Oklahoma will get field position. 34-yard punt on the part of Cooper.
Oklahoma State has not been able to take advantage of the wind. They've not thrown the ball successfully here, and you see Cooper slinging the headgear down. He is a great punter. He has a 30-plus mile-an-hour wind built behind him, and when you punt the ball, you get it up in the air, it's even more of a factor than that, and there's reason for his disgust.
Timeout has been called, and I'm not sure if they assessed it to either team. Yeah, they did. They called that one, because each team has 2 timeouts remaining here. The situation, a 1st and 10 at the 37 for Oklahoma, 10-3 Sooners, and 6:51 remaining to play here in the third quarter. Here's a look at some of the turnovers today, with Oklahoma 4 fumbles, losing 2, and also the interceptions, as the Cowboys have picked off a couple, and OSU has had lost an interception.
Well, you throw in those 4 turnovers, and then the fact that R.D. Lasher hooked his field goal attempt. Consider that almost a turnover.
Nebraska leads Iowa State 40-0 in the second quarter. Imagine they're interested up there hearing this score. Rodney Anderson again gets the call, and David Bailey makes the tackle along with Ron Williams, and it'll be 2nd and 10 with no gain. Kansas State, Kansas, 7-7 in the second quarter.
David Bailey, William, a fine player. He does not have much love in his heart for Oklahoma. Grew up in Pennsylvania, although he played high school ball at Grant. Never a Sooner fan, and he showed some of it there.
2nd and 10 at the 37. Collins got by 1 man, but he is stopped at the 38, maybe the 39, gain of 2 at max. Ron Williams makes the tackle. Colorado leads Missouri 24-3 at the half. Florida State shutting out Auburn 17-0 in the second quarter. Syracuse 27, Navy 3 in the third. Penn State leading Maryland 14-6. That one also in the third. Here it is 3rd and 9 at the 38 for Oklahoma. The Sooners 3 of 8 third down conversions. One receiver set out wide to the bottom of your screen. And up the middle, first down, Oklahoma. Rodney Anderson carried the whole line with him that time. Ron Williams finally dragged him down at midfield, but they'll move the chains.
The old 3rd and 9, what do? You run the base play. Rodney Anderson picks it up and they move the chains. I was just about to say, Bill, that generally this late in the ball game, the offense has the advantage because they have figured out what the defense is doing, and you'll see them have a lot of success. It has not really worked out that way. Oklahoma State has played better defense here in the second half.
1st and 10 at midfield. Anderson breaks it to the 40, 35, 30, and inside the 25. Oh, mama, hold on to your pants as Anderson is brought down from behind, and Oklahoma knocking on the door again.
Rodney Anderson wanting to make up for a couple of those early fumbles in the ball game, has very good speed. They say that he's one of those guys in a foot race. They don't know how fast he is in the 40, but they say in a foot race he doesn't come in second very often.
29 yards on that play. And there's a look at the junior from Dickinson, Texas. Over the 100-yard mark now. Holloway reads the option. Last-second pitch, but they just ran out of room, and Stafford didn't have anywhere to go. If this was Canada, it'd have been a touchdown.
Good play that time by Jameel Holloway. Actually, that play was defensed pretty well. Melvin Gillum here on his man in good shape. Deckard, the free safety, comes up, but Gillum comes inside. You can't do that. You have the pitch man stay with him.
Did string it out about as well as you could expect there, but it's a first down for Oklahoma. They got what they needed, and the Sooners at the 11.
That's right. I don't mean to be too hard on Gillum because he's thinking, hey, if I don't go get him, he may get in the end zone, but you're given a certain man in that defensive scheme, you've got to stay with him.
Oklahoma leading by a touchdown and wanting more here. And up the middle again is Rodney Anderson. Bailey and Drain make the tackle. Quickly, some Big Ten scores. Iowa leads Northwestern 35-17 at the half. Michigan State hammering Purdue 31-3 in the fourth. Ohio State taking care of Wisconsin 24-13. That one also in the fourth quarter. 4:27 remaining in the third period as number 1 ranked Oklahoma struggling with 12th ranked Oklahoma State. The Sooners on the march though. 2nd and 7 from the 8. Pitch out, Collins, 10, 5, and knocked out of bounds. David Bailey with the play. They'll see where they mark it. It looks like the 3.
That play could have been an audible. It appeared as though Holloway saw something defensively that he wanted to take advantage of, calling an audible. He realized, and he did not pick up the first down, he realized that he would be getting the ball outside quickly. Actually, Holloway, that's not really the true triple option because he anticipates what the defense is doing. There have been more predetermined plays by Oklahoma today than I've seen all year.
5th time the Sooners have been inside the 20, 3rd time inside the 10, yet they've only got 1 touchdown this afternoon. 3rd and 2 at the 3. Hall, he dives in, touchdown Oklahoma. Bernard Hall with a score for the Sooners.
Yeah, you say Bernard Hall. Now, he's the quarterback that came. They moved to halfback. They moved to tight end. They thought about moving somewhere else. They brought him back in the backfield, Bill, because they just want to get the hammer in there, and they feel that with a big backfield in there, they'll be able to hammer a smaller Oklahoma State defense, and it worked that time.
First touchdown in Hall's career here at Oklahoma, and it comes at a key time for the Sooners. 16-3, and here is Lasher for the point after attempt. Thompson holding. Blocked by the Cowboys. Oh, you see it all in the Bedlam series, don't you? 16-3, Milton Cockrell blocked the point after attempt, so it's a 13-point game now with 4 minutes to go in the third period. We'll take a break, and Oklahoma will kick it off when we return.
The evolution of the burger. First, there was cheese, then pickles, lettuce, tomato, special sauce. Then, for something really different, back to lettuce and tomato. Wow, what progress. Listen, if you want something truly different, try Arby's Philly Beef and Swiss. Lean, tender roast beef topped with roasted peppers, onions, and melted Swiss. The Philly Beef and Swiss. It's not evolutionary, It's revolutionary.
Have you ever noticed that car rental companies charge more in the airport? Now, I choose Thrifty Car. They're near the airport, but not in it.
Hey, boss!
So their overhead is lower. That's why Thrifty is so thrifty.
Rent a Chrysler 5th Avenue, just $29.95 a day. Call 1-800-FORD-CARS.
Hey, boss! You know you like Thrifty because they cost less.
Now, wait a minute, Rochester. It's true.
4 minutes remaining in the third period. Bill Land and Dean Blevins with you from Norman, where the Sooners lead it 16-3. And Oklahoma's Todd Thompson to kick it off. Into the stiff wind, and it is taken at the 25-yard line. At the 34. Barry Sanders moved up because of the wind to take it, and that's Oklahoma State, good field position at the 35-yard line, I guess we mark it. Here's a look at the touchdown by Hall.
Bernard Hall behind the big, strong, powerful offensive line gets into the end zone. Good job, though, of coaching by Pat Jones and staff, Bill. I think they knew that Todd Thompson would have it deep onside, and this is a problem for Oklahoma. This is the third missed conversion in the past couple of weeks, the second block, and Lasher missed one earlier, so they're having problems there.
First and 10, Gundy scrambling back on his own 25, looking upfield, trying to go to Dykes, and it is almost intercepted by Dixon. The Cowboy receivers were moving, trying to make something happen. Nice play by Ricky Dixon.
Ricky Dixon, they say he's the second best athlete on the team behind Keith Jackson. Tremendous quickness, great hips. His speed in the 40, according to the pros, Bill, 4.35, and some reading last week said you can anticipate him going in maybe the top 10 in the first round of the draft. That's kind of
well as Keith Jackson. When you got 2 out of the top 10, you're in great shape. Second and 10 in the 35 for the Cowboys. They need to get something going here. Sanders can't find an opening, and the wave hits him as they push it back to the 31-yard line. His forward progress was stopped at the 34 by Darrell Reed. Richard Dillon and Vickers came on.
Oklahoma State's first down average for the game is less than 1 yard, and Oklahoma State, with 3 minutes remaining in the third quarter, has yet to make a first down in this quarter.
And down by 2 touchdowns. The way Oklahoma can control the football. The Cowboys need to also get their defense off the field. They're 0 of 9 in third down conversions, and here it's 3rd and 11. Gundy to Thomas and off his hands. Thomas wide open, and maybe we'll see the replay, because that appeared to be a very catchable ball.
The primary receiver once again is Hartley Dykes. Oklahoma knows that. He's covered. Gundy with great protection spots his receiver. Thurman Thomas misses a catchable ball. 7 total yards in the third quarter for Oklahoma State.
They've thrown to Thomas quite a bit this year. He came in with 16 receptions. Cooper to punt it from his 20. Oklahoma, 2 men back, 4th and 11 at the 34. And the ball down at the 21-yard line. Good coverage by the Cowboys again. Charles Thompson receiving the football. And a 47-yard kick. Curtis Looper made the tackle for the Cowboys. So the Oklahoma defense gets a big hand as they have really stuffed the Cowboy offensive attack here in the second half, and maybe even more important that with the wind at its back, and OSU, that wind a bigger factor for them offensively than it is Oklahoma. Particularly when you're trailing.
Yeah, and Oklahoma State has just not been able to take advantage of it so far. They may not get the ball back this quarter.
2:50 to go, as you can see in the third period. 16-3 Sooners. Rodney Anderson, tackled by Sim Drain. Oklahoma, with Anderson being a key figure in the last touchdown drive, he had a 3rd and long for 12 yards and then picked up 29 yards on the next carry. Hall capped off the long drive with a touchdown leap. Now Anderson, the main man again. 2nd and 4th at 26. Fumble. But Oklahoma recovered.
I just said a few moments ago that Oklahoma was running more predetermined stuff, Bill, this afternoon than they have in a long, long time. That was not a predetermined call there. There was confusion between Rodney Anderson and Jamel Holloway as to who would get the ball.
5th fumble for the Sooners. They've lost 2. Anderson is the man who pounced on it. And now it's 3rd and 4 for Oklahoma. Ball marked on the Sooner 26. Up the middle, and very close to the first down, depending on the mark. That's Anderson again. Now, he appears to have it where you see him laying on the field, but it's going to be very close. I'll bring out the chains. Here's a look at it again. Oklahoma really seems to be wearing down the Cowboys here in the second half, Dean, and we've yet to reach the 4th quarter.
Yeah, and we talked about patience earlier, and the Sooners do pick up the first down. I think they're showing it now. They're just continuing to assault Oklahoma State at its most vulnerable position. And if you look at Oklahoma's overall strength, they have many strengths, but the number one thing the coaches say is the ability and the size of their offensive line. And as you're saying, as the game wears on, that's becoming more evident.
Oklahoma with 18 first downs to the Cowboys 6. And remember, Cowboys do not have one here in the second half. Right up the middle, watch out. 45, the 50, 40, 35, Anderson to the 30. And Milton Cockrell makes the tackle. Well, Rodney Anderson, he won't be able to party tonight if Oklahoma wins. 40-yard run, look at that day. 176 yards rushing. Longest run of the year for Anderson here.
He has a pull by Mark Hudson, Bill, that comes up through the alleyway and clears the way for him. Open field, picks up some big yardage.
Tell you what, you just have to look on an admiration of the Oklahoma program with the talent that is available when a guy like Liddell Carr is sidelined and Rodney Anderson, most people couldn't tell you who he was before the ball game, and he comes in, gets 176 yards.
And Oklahoma is playing some second unit players. Damon Stell in the ball game.
Stell picking up 5, makes it 2nd and 5 with the 25 now. McKinley is also in the backfield now to give a breather to Rodney Anderson. There's Stell and what he has done so far this year. 2nd and 5 on the 25, and nothing doing up the middle, yard or 2 by McKinley with Brandon Colbert, the freshman nose guard, making the tackle for the Cowboys. That's the end of the 3rd quarter. The Sooners, with a touchdown from Bernard Hall, have moved the lead out to 13. It's 16-3 Oklahoma over Oklahoma State. Back for the final quarter after these messages.
What I look for in a high-performance automobile is the most sophisticated fail-safe braking system available. In a luxury automobile, I expect a security system equatable to its value. For open road speed, I opt for the most advanced turbocharged 16-valve technology on 4 wheels.
The evolution of the burger. First, there was cheese, then pickles, lettuce, tomato, special sauce. Then, for something really different, back to lettuce and tomato. Wow, what progress. Listen, if you want something truly different, try Arby's Philly Beef and Swiss. Lean, tender roast beef topped with roasted peppers, onions, and melted Swiss. The Philly Beef and Swiss. It's not evolutionary, it's revolutionary.
We start the 4th quarter with Oklahoma leading the Cowboys 16-3. Phil Lamb, Dee Blevins, and crew here with you this afternoon. And Oklahoma on the march again, and another touchdown here, Dean, and the Cowboys will really have their work cut out for them, not that they don't already do. There's a look at the yardage difference as Oklahoma continuing to run it up. And now flags all over. It's against the Cowboys. You saw Holloway saying, oh, yeah.
Robert Nunn, I believe, was the guilty party.
Offsides. There's Nunn as he just slipped and fell. Gosh, funny to us, not funny to Oklahoma State.
Yeah, it looked like he might have twisted a knee or an ankle on the play, but Oklahoma State stunning a lot. You know, Lewis Campbell said earlier in the week, Bill, that last year in this ball game they had employed something like 36 different looks defensively, and they've had to rely on that today. They've made some big plays, but when you do that, you're going to give up some big plays.
1st and 10 at the 18 for the Sooners. Holloway fumbles the ball. Cowboys recover. OSU again comes up with a big defensive play. And the Cowboys will stay in the hunt.
Well, that is frustrating for Jamel Holloway in Oklahoma, because we'll take a look at it here. Holloway makes the proper read, and he sees a crease. He hops up inside. He is going for big yardage and might have scored. And on his own, drops it. Oklahoma State recovers the 6th fumble for the Sooners.
David Bailey, lost his 3rd fumble recovery this year. Big 98. You'll see him come in with the football. And now the Cowboys again avoiding the bullets. And it's 1st and 10 for the 15, and this partisan Oklahoma crowd gets in to try to bring the defense back up. Here's Thomas. Out to the 25, just short of the 1st down. A 9.5 yard pickup for Thurman Thomas. Ricky Dixon made the tackle, and that play was not far from going for broke.
The best plays for Oklahoma State on the ground this afternoon have been on the outside. Early in the ball game, Barry Sanders was able to come around the outside and pick up some yardage, and Thurman Thomas has bounced outside several times to pick up the yardage he's gained.
Thomas at 100 yards. There you see it for the day on 18 carries. The 2nd and 1, and the Cowboys play it safe and try to get the 1st down, and they do. First down for Oklahoma State in the 2nd half. So they move the chains, and I say maybe more importantly, give the defense a little bit of a rest, but the Cowboys being down by 2 touchdowns need to get something on the board here soon. Gundy scrambling. Keeps it and gets out of bounds at the 30. So he picks up 3. Dante Williams was there to force him away. It's not very often you see Gundy actually tuck it under and go with it.
He does a good job, but at times, Bill, I mean, when you play really good defenses, when you scramble like this, when your primary receiver is not open against really good defensive secondaries, many times your people are going to be covered, and it's best to go ahead and pick up that yardage or throw the ball incomplete without risking an interception. It's against the lesser competition that you can scramble around and find men open, and Gundy makes a good play there.
And he might also make them think a little bit more before they decide next time that, hey, he's just scrambling to throw the football. 2nd and 7 from the 30. And Thomas is stopped by Johnson and Reed. So it'll be a 3rd down and 7 with no gain on that play. And the Cowboys bring Gerard Green on with the play.
Oklahoma with a stunt that time, sending Darrell Reed, Gary Gibbs in the press box. Bill figures out what he wants. He sends it down to his assistant coaches, John Blake and Bobby Proctor, and they send in the signals. And actually, on the defensive secondary, Vickers makes the calls.
They've done a number, as you can see on Gundy's numbers. Dykes on the look-in, but I believe he's short of the 1st down. And not by much, though. Hartley Dykes at the 37, just short of that. Lonnie Finch was covering, but Finch did a good job in bringing him down immediately and keeping his motion from taking him any further forward.
Big measurement here, and as I was saying a minute ago, they send in the plays to Dante Jones. He calls the defensive signals for the front 7. The secondary actually doesn't even get in the huddle. And Vickers, be 4th and short. Vickers calls out the secondary play to his guys.
Here's the replay, and you'll see the pass, and Dykes, and there's Finch, who just kept bringing him back toward the line of scrimmage. And Oklahoma State, 1 of 2 in 4th down situations. The 2 teams both went forward on successive series early here in the 2nd half, and nothing figured either way. So the Cowboys with 13-10 to go, 4th and 1 on their own 36, down by 13. Gundy tries to get up and over.
Gundy jumps up. I've never seen that. The quarterback pulls the ball out in midair.
The ball must get over that plane.
Yeah.
That's all that is important.
It will be interesting to see where they spot this.
I hope he had super glue on the ball. Take a look. He gets the ball as high in the air as he can so he can hopefully get it over the line.
I think they gave him the spot.
Now, if you first down, Oklahoma State. Now, if you do that every time, somebody's going to take the ball away from you. But once, you can get away with it.
Courageous call, a courageous move by Gundy. Paid off.
Ed Jones hoping to fire his ball club up here and realizes he's got to keep the drive alive. Especially the way Oklahoma's played today. Anytime you give the Sooners the ball back, you don't know when you'll get it back. And the Cowboys down by 13 here. Keep it alive. 1st and 10 on their own 37. Thomas tripped up at the 39. Dante Jones had a big day today. Comes up with another key stop.
Captain Video, they call him, William. Dante Jones, he has goggles on his eyeballs, and they call him Captain Video. Very fine player. Underrated, of course, when Bosworth was here, but the best they have now.
2nd and 8 at the 39. Gundy to try to throw. Finds his man, tight end. I think that's Keith. And Dante Jones makes the tackle. J.R. Dillard makes the reception, beg your pardon. Dillard and Keith alternating the tight end. Dillard had the big touchdown reception, his only TD of the year against Missouri 2 weeks ago. Here's a look at old J.R. out of Cleveland, Oklahoma. Here's the replay. Nearly had the ball stripped by Dante Jones. 3rd and 2 at the 45. Receivers, one to each side. 1st down and more. Thomas at the 40, 35, he may score. 15, 10, and brought down at the 2-yard line. Oh, mama, hold on to your pants. Derek White saves a touchdown, but the Cowboys are knocking on the door.
Thurman Thomas, you give it to him enough and he'll bust one. This time he goes 53 yards up the gut. Had the official not been there, he might have been able to go untouched. He has to break it back out left, and White saves a touchdown.
Could have been a face mask at the end of that play. We'll take another look here. Watch as the tackle is being made. Or Thomas.
He went untouched, though. That's a tremendous job by the offensive line. Oklahoma thinking pass.
We'll check that later. We'll come back live here. Diving up. Here to be Sanders. He is short of the touchdown, but it's 1st and goal, or was 1st and goal, from the 1-yard line.
Oklahoma has not given up a rushing touchdown against Oklahoma State in a long time. Sean Jones, the last to score for the Cowboys.
2nd and goal. The clock moving here in the 4th quarter. 10:45 remaining. 16-3, Oklahoma. Sanders, touchdown, but there's a flag. Touchdown by Sanders, but a flag has been thrown. You see Pat Jones waiting to find out what the call is. I believe it's against the Sooners. Touchdown Oklahoma State. The call is against Oklahoma.
And it is now a 7-point game. A made extra point here, Bill, makes it a 6-point ball game.
There's Sanders diving up and over. There's offsides on Oklahoma. Naturally declined. Here's a key point after with it 16-9. Blanchard's kick is good, but another flag before we go here. Another flag is thrown. This one appears to be against Oklahoma also, as both teams are headed to the sidelines. Yes, another offsides against the Sooners, so the kick is good. And Oklahoma State is right in the hunt. 16-10, Oklahoma with 10:38 remaining to play in the football game. Pat Jones has got them going to the Cowboys sideline.
That's a big drive. They take that ball the length of the field into the wind in the fourth quarter when you must score. They take that 85 yards in 11 plays with the benefit of Thomas's 54-yard run. Now they're back in the middle of it, and you know Oklahoma State has to feel very good about its chances right now, Bill, because Oklahoma has put the ball on the ground so much today, but no telling what'll happen.
Here's one more look at that final score. And different attitude by Oklahoma State when they're down on the first and goal, too. Not like Nebraska. Pat Jones got faith in the running game and goes with the youngster Sanders. The 85-yard drive, 11 plays. The big one, though, the 40-plus yard run by Thurman Thomas to set up the first and goal.
Statistically, this game has been a mismatch. Oklahoma has dominated on the scoreboard. It's a 6-point game. Impressive drive.
What a drive, and just a great play by Thomas. And if you followed his career at all, and the knee surgery and the comeback from that and the knock on him that he couldn't perform in the big games against the big teams, you've got to smile when you watch Thurman Thomas have the play that he has had here today, Dean. A couple of big runs that have made things, and realize the quality of performer he is and the credit he ought to be given. Cowboys will kick it off with 10:38 remaining, and it's 16-10 Sooners. This one into the wind and out of the end zone. And things have been moved up, of course, because of the penalty on the point after. But just the same.
Well, that's what a penalty will cause you. If Oklahoma is not guilty of the penalty, there's a very good chance that into the 30 to 35 mile an hour wind that Oklahoma would have been able to get the ball back out well past the 20, as it is on the 20-yard line. Thurman Thomas is the only player to rush for over 100 yards against Oklahoma in the last 3 years, and he's done it twice.
First and 10 now for Oklahoma at the 20. Stafford gets out to the 26-yard line where Sim Drain makes the tackle. Where's Oklahoma figuring here, just trying to make a nice long drive that would result in some type of points to eat some clock up. For one about timeouts, Cowboys have 2 remaining, and the Sooners have a pair. A touchdown by Sanders, the first OSU touchdown against Oklahoma since 1984. Collins got backward and then falls to the 17, and now it'll be a 3rd and long for Oklahoma. He just lost his balance, Dean, and never could quite find it.
Well, Patrick was trying to regain his balance and thought that he could and maybe lap around, run a little loop, and head back up the right boundary. He could have easily just taken a minimal loss or maybe a no-gainer at that point, but he thinks he can turn it into something. But he's wrong. Good effort. Puts Oklahoma in a 3rd and long.
3rd and 12 for Oklahoma with the ball on the 18. Sooners lead it by 6 and 9.5 to go. Long count, on a way to throw. Knocked away at a great defensive play in the secondary. Jerry Decker nearly intercepted the ball, but most importantly denied the Sooners a reception. We'll take a look at the replay.
Holloway's primary receiver is covered. He has people in his face. Throws a ball that might have been an ill-advised pass. And Oklahoma State gets it back.
Intended for Damon Stell. So now the Cowboys will get it back in what should be pretty good position, although the win at the back of Todd Thompson on his own 4.
And Oklahoma is yet to complete a pass.
Sanders deep for the Cowboys. At the 36 and down right there. Great job by Oklahoma in the coverage, and what hang time on that punt. Greg Dixon made the tackle for the Sooners, and you know the Oklahoma coaches think of Barry Sanders. They almost fear his explosiveness more than they would Thurman Thomas. 45-yard punt.
When you have a punter of that ability, the hang time is more important really than the distance, William.
Just to get your coverage unit down there. 9:07 remaining. Cowboy football, and Oklahoma leading at 16-10. A timeout has been called. We'll keep it right here for the time being. Well, you talk about these two teams playing and the dominance of Oklahoma. I think for Oklahoma State coming in has to be, they're in a position that they couldn't ask for anything more. They've got a chance to win the football game in the fourth quarter, and the opportunity is there. A chance now with the football to go ahead. They haven't had this since the first two possessions of the ball game.
And although they have been dominated statistically, you can see the confidence growing. They feel good about their chances.
At the 36, 1st and 10 out of the eye, Gundy with the receivers one at each side. To Sanders, and he gets stopped at the gain at 2. Dillon makes the tackle. Oklahoma State could cause a lot of problems for some bold people if they come up with a victory here today. And nothing but good news for OSU is they would prove themselves amazing. Dykes at the 45 and out of bounds. He's in Oklahoma territory. Dixon covering on the play as Gundy drills Hartley Dykes.
And that's not the easiest pass to complete into a 30-mile-an-hour wind. Dykes with a good out route, and Dixon a little late coming over at a Twins right. Big first down.
A 20-yard pickup from Gundy to Dykes through the air. First and 10 at the 41 of Oklahoma. Thomas spins and is stopped for no gain as the defense toughens up with Dante Jones heading the charge for the Sooners.
Oklahoma State, Bill, went the entire third quarter without a first down, and now they seem unstoppable.
A big run by Thomas. Well, maybe the big play of that last drive, besides Thomas' 49-yard run or whatever it was the key third down play, the little look-in pass to Dykes where he was able to get just enough to get the first down. It seemed to really get the count. 2nd and 11, and this pass, the similar play, knocked down by Richard Dillon.
And Oklahoma has defensed that short passing game extremely well today. You mentioned the one completion, that was big for them. But again, here we'll see on a replay, Dillon actually swats this ball down, so the linebackers come into play a little bit on that short game. And on this slant, Finch is a big player. The corners are very important in trying to stop Dykes.
Nice shot by the crew. 3rd and 11, the ball at the 42, and Oklahoma State 1 of 12 at third down conversions. Gundy in trouble, gets it off, it's complete at the 35, that's Limbrick, he is short of the first down at the 34. Ken McMitchell makes the tackle, sophomore from Indianapolis, 6'1", 200-pounder.
That's a big tackle there. We'll watch Gundy back, picks up his receiver, and it appears they might be able to avoid the tackle of McMitchell to pick up the first down. McMitchell may be the second best athlete in the secondary. Of course, Ricky Dixon, the best one. High school basketball player. He moved from strong safety this past spring, and that's a tough transition for him because now he's responsible for calling all the plays.
Oklahoma State going for it, 4th and 2 at the 34-yard line of the Sooners. 7:07 remaining. Gundy in trouble and eats the football at the 37-yard line. Darrell Reed with a play for the Sooners. And what a huge play that was.
Well, he had 7 sacks coming into the ball game on quarterbacks for 50 yards in losses. He adds a very big one right here on Gundy.
Three-time All-Big 8 choice and could be the first to become a four-timer. And he comes through when it's needed most.
They say if you're in a street fight and you could pick one Sooner that you'd like to have on your side, Darrell Reed would be the guy.
Oklahoma takes over with 7:03 remaining, leading 16-10. 2 wideouts to the top. And then some motion forward. And the flags are thrown. It's like a false start from Rodney Anderson.
Sooners have been out of sync for most of the afternoon. Don't want to belabor the point about how difficult it is to put yourself in 1st and 15 situations, but in reality, it is very difficult. One offsides may turn what could have been a first down into a punting situation, and you just, if you're Oklahoma at this point, you do not want Oklahoma State with its explosive people to have its hands on the football trailing by 6 late in the ballgame.
The penalty is declined.
The only thing I can think is that Oklahoma State knows the cadence of Oklahoma, and that is illegal to intentionally call Oklahoma offsides, and that might have been what happened.
Whatever, it remains.
I don't know who would have declined the penalty. Certainly Oklahoma State would not decline the penalty had it been on Oklahoma.
2nd and 10 at the 38-yard line. Holloway escapes one man as a flag thrown as he was smothered at the line of scrimmage. Ricky Shaw, Kim Johnson there. Bailey also in on the play.
They simply let the play stand from the play before. Here we see Holloway on 2nd and 10. And another penalty flag goes down as Oklahoma State strings out Holloway very well.
I think it's a face mask. Yes, it is. The official gives the signal against Oklahoma State.
We need to mic these officials, don't we, William?
Well, it's hard to keep up with the face mask. And there's 2 different calls, if it's intentional or just inadvertent. This was inadvertent, so it's a 5-yard penalty. And that will give the Sooners the possession of the football at the 42 and make it 2nd down and 5. Same down.
A creative series.
Nothing's been easy today, whether you're down on the field or up here. Up the middle, and look at that. Rodney Anderson, first down across midfield. What a player. Ron Williams makes the tackle, and this is a guy, it's what happens when players sit around and don't get a chance to play and realize that, hey, I'm going to get the ball 30 times today. They're not going to get me out of the lineup.
Well, now, he might have made a great play, but John Phillips, Mark Hudson, Bob Latham, Anthony Phillips, Greg Johnson, they are to be commended on this play. I think he might have piggybacked his way down the field.
Finally, at the end, Hudson just got out of the way and said, okay, you got the first down. 6:13 and counting. The ball at the 47 of the Cowboys, and Holloway tackled by Deckard. Deckard fortunate to get an arm out, and Holloway hobbling with an ankle sprain, it appears. And Pat Jones telling Holloway to sit down and get off his ankle. And that's right, that's the OSU coach. It just shows you the sportsmanship and the class here. That last thing anybody wants to see is a player of that caliber being hurt.
That's not a good-looking injury. If it's a minor injury, generally you'll limp around slowly, Bill, but that seemed to be one that Holloway knew something happened the minute it happened.
We'll take a look here.
Jerry Deckard makes a fine open field play. Charles Thompson will be inserted into the lineup as we see Holloway on the ground.
And there's Holloway in his production this afternoon. 18 carries, 125 yards, and had the opening touchdown of the football game on the Sooners' first series. We'll see if we can see what happened here. Deckard got him off balance a little bit, I believe. He turned on his own, I think, before Deckard got him, Dean. Looks like he got the ankle. And looked like he twisted on his own actually before he got hit, as he was trying to avoid Deckard and turn it inside.
You can see that he obviously knows that it's a more than just a mild sprain.
Charles Thompson comes in for Oklahoma. Holloway is still down though. Junior out of Carson. Barry Switzer and staff talking things over, but Thompson is already out on the field.
Important implications, obviously. First of all, this ball game, Oklahoma only up by 6 points. Oklahoma State, if it got the ball back, down by only 6, a touchdown and an extra point could win this one. On down the road, even if Oklahoma were to win this ball game, you have Nebraska staring you, and depending upon the severity of the injury, one would think that Charles Thompson becomes a much bigger player.
Freshman from Lawton, you'll see a lot of playing time as Holloway is helped off the field. They keep that ankle up in the air, though, on the left foot. And Thompson, second leading rusher, 510 yards coming into the ball game, and he will be under the gun here, though, and this is something that, other than playing early in ball games, but in games, he has not been in a situation like this, with a 6-point lead, ball game on the line, and a key possession coming up at 2nd and 8. Holloway, and you see the figure there, and he's still got a year to go. He'll own just about every record a quarterback could have here.
He will, and I don't want to be a doomsdayer, but that does not look good.
Back to live action now, 2nd and 8. Ball on the 45. Oklahoma 16-10 with the football, and 5:53 remaining. Charles Thompson is the quarterback. Hands off to Anderson, and he gets to the 45, gets back to the line of scrimmage, and that's about it.
Now, Charles Thompson has been inserted in games earlier this year, Bill, when the ball game has been out of hand. And no one has questioned his ability, but it's much easier to go into a game when the game is over, the defense is tired, you already understand their system. Well, he may understand Oklahoma State's system. It's still a complex one, and the ball game is on the line, so it's a little bit different scenario for Charles Thompson this afternoon.
A 68-yarder, I believe that came in the Tulsa game when he went for a touchdown against the Golden Hurricane his long run, averaging 8.4 per carry. 3rd and 8 from the 45, and Thompson sees an opening, stays alive, and is hit at the 41. He is short of the first down. Mako Moore makes the tackle for Oklahoma State. So the Cowboys should get their hands on the football here. Barry Switzer thinking of maybe going for it on 4th down.
No possible way. This ball will be punted, and Oklahoma State will get it back as you see Charles Thompson trying to pick up the first down. He does not. And Oklahoma State will have at least one more chance. And don't forget, excuse me, Bill, but Oklahoma has almost had at least one punt block today.
And everybody's up but Sanders on this one. So let's see if the Cowboys can put the heat on Todd Thompson. They blocked a point after on an Oklahoma touchdown. Long count by the Sooners, as really with the wind at the back of Thompson, it doesn't bother them for a delay of game, and now we have a little skirmish out at midfield. And that was a smart call by Oklahoma to try to force OSU offside.
Yeah, 5-yard penalty gives you a first down, and with the prevailing wind, the 5-yard penalty does not hamper the Sooners.
I think the thinking is sound where Coach Switzer is saying if we can put the ball down and pin at the 10 and Oklahoma State can go 90 yards, then maybe they deserve to win the football game.
Oh, sure. I don't think he'd ever consider going for that one. The thing Oklahoma's most concerned with right now is maybe not Barry Sanders. It's just trying to get the ball from Richard Marks to Todd Thompson. Marks has done an average job of getting the ball back, and Oklahoma has been no better than average, and that may be kind to the Sooners in the punting game.
10-man front for Oklahoma State. Todd Thompson stands on his 39-yard line. 4:11 remaining to play. The Cowboys trailing by 6. Here they come. Thompson gets off a dandy. Sanders lets it go, and it'll be pinned at the 3-yard line. So Oklahoma State will really have its work cut out. 42-yard punt. Why is Sanders not taking a fair catch at that point?
Well, there is a point at which you are coached to let the ball come over you, and you don't catch it. There's a point that you are told to catch it. Sanders was on the break. He was right in that in-between territory, and I'm sure he thought that ball would go on into the end zone, and his troops would have it on the 20. Oklahoma gets the lucky bounce.
And understanding that you've got everyone up front trying to block the kick, there's no block protection, and you do not want to fumble the football. Out of the end zone, Gundy intercepted Oklahoma. Touchdown Sooners! Oh, mama, Troy Johnson! And that'll be the ball game. Troy Johnson being mobbed on the sidelines.
The guy's been in the shadow of Kevin Murphy and Darrell Reed. He's a player of his own, William. Great athletic ability. Troy Johnson swats that one up, brings it down, and no one was going to stop him. And Oklahoma got a big defensive turnover last year by Dante Jones, an interception return for a touchdown that basically sealed that victory. And likewise, today it appears that the Troy Johnson return for a touchdown of an interception will ensure a Sooner victory.
Second interception of the year by Troy Johnson, and is he a happy guy? Oklahoma, with a senior from Houston, Texas, you would think locking it up here, but there's still 3:51 to go, making it 22-10, and the Oranges come on the field.
And Oklahoma is thinking about going for two. There's a 12-point difference at this point. 24 would make it a two-touchdown difference, where Oklahoma State would have to convert on a two-point try to win outright with two touchdowns. And that's what they will do as Barry Switzer and staff are huddling with Charles Thompson.
You know, you can almost, if people are being critical of Gundy, see what he was thinking, Dean. He's in the end zone, and he's thinking, hey, don't get sacked in here. He got out of the end zone, and then it's get rid of the football, and he just didn't loft it high enough.
Credit your punt team and Todd Thompson for pinning Oklahoma State back in that position. Mike Gundy made a couple of decisions that were poor decisions, but you're giving the reasons why. He was intercepted earlier on a similar type play. Now, Oklahoma, in this situation, I would be greatly surprised if they don't run the true triple option with Charles Thompson. They look at that play so often in this situation.
So they go for two with a 22-10. And flags all over. They do not make it. Things have really gotten messy here on the kicking game.
Well, there was another offsides by the Sooners, it appeared. Duncan Parham in a two tight end situation, lining up on the left side, was offsides, and that will put it back where Oklahoma will have to consider throwing the ball. I don't think they'll kick the extra point, William. I think they'll go ahead and throw it.
The play will stand, and the penalty be declined naturally because of Oklahoma committing it, and that will leave it at 22-10, and Oklahoma will kick off.
Now, why is that? I thought that was before the play actually started.
Apparently, they must have ruled it after, and otherwise, I think you'd be right. 22-10 as Troy Johnson electrifies the crowd here at Owen Field. We'll take a look at that again as Coach Switzer's probably sigh of relief on the sideline. Here is Gundy, gets out of the end zone.
Thinking end zone the whole way, looking for his tight end, and that's just a great play, but one that Gundy, I'm sure, regrets throwing at this point, even if you throw just an incompletion. But Mike is always thinking positive, thinking, let's get the big play. Underthrows it just a little bit.
Sooners will kick it off. It's a third touchdown by the OU defense this year. Dante Jones, a fumble return against North Texas State. McBride last week had the interception against Kansas that made bettors across America happy. And now Troy Johnson. This one is boomed out of the end zone by Thompson. And Todd goes to the sidelines as he's done his job here. The punt that you mentioned that pinned the Cowboys deep in their own territory kind of set things up for Troy Johnson. And now Oklahoma State will have it first and 10 on its own 20-yard line. 3:51 remaining. Here's our situation. Three wide receivers as Gundy will have to throw. Flags are all over again. This one to Dykes. Leaping grab and steps out at the 35-yard line. And another flag thrown after the reception there.
It's flag day. It's also nasty.
Dixon made the play. Here's a look. Dykes with a nice catch, and then Dixon shoves him out. It might have been a late hit there. We'll see how they sort it all out here. And I don't know what the original flag, the first flag was, Dee.
Well, I have speculated a couple of times today incorrectly. I would speculate again it was holding, and he's verifying that. Okay.
And the personal foul against Oklahoma. First call against OSU. Both of them against the Cowboys. I beg your pardon. .345 remaining, and they still haven't figured out the football has yet to be moved. Let's go to something that's not quite as confusing.
Well, I don't know. That's a toss-up.
And that's Sports Scene Monday Night Open Line with J.D. Barnett. And J.D. Barnett will be on Tuesday night. We have the quiz, of course, on Tuesday. Wednesday night, Tim Brando from ESPN and college football will be our special guest via satellite. Hookie the Bookie, always special. And Friday, Tommy Chesbro, Oklahoma State assistant athletic director, I should say, and also assistant wrestling coach. 6 to 8 weekday, Sports Scene.
There were 3 penalties on that play. You know, Gundy's given up 3 interceptions today. One to Johnson for the touchdown, one to Dixon that led to a missed field goal. And then Jones got one at OU's 19-yard line before halftime.
The penalties, I believe, were holding OSU, personal foul OSU, personal foul OU. It makes it 1st and 20, the ball on the 10, Gundy to pass from his own 1. And does out to the 19. Gerard Green with the grab as Vickers makes the tackle. That gets it back to the original line of scrimmage.
Gerard Green with an under route. He has a feeling he'll be hit as soon as he catches it. Derek Crudup in the vicinity, but Vickers, a rangy Tulsa Hale player, former Tulsa Hale quarterback. He's physical for a quarterback, isn't he?
Likes to hit. There's Gundy's numbers for the day. The draw play, Thurman Thomas. The problem with throwing under and over the middle at this point in the ballgame is the clock continue to run. There are receptions that might be available in those situations, and here on the draw now, the clock keeps moving. Cowboys just have 2 timeouts. They need 2 touchdowns to win the football game.
Preliminary report says that Jameel Holloway's injury is a knee injury, and similar to Liddell Carr, is unknown the severity.
We certainly hope it's not too bad. 3rd and 6 from the 24. Gundy scrambling again. Now he'll have to run. He gets it off, and it is complete to Brian Keith.
Oklahoma is content at this point to let Oklahoma State throw the little underneath stuff. There are only 2 minutes and 29 seconds remaining. Gundy here scrambling right. Now keep in mind, Bill, that not only does he have the ambush headed his way, but he also is throwing into that 30-mile-an-hour wind. So it's understandable why they're not going deep, but it's also going to be tough for Oklahoma State to try to put a couple on the board in less than 2 doing that.
First down at the 35, and Oklahoma's just thinking keep it in play. Gundy looking for Dykes and Dixon. Frustrated that he couldn't pick that one off. .2:11 remaining as you look at the Cowboys sideline. And a 2nd and 10 coming up. Oklahoma State next weekend on the road against Kansas. Oklahoma will be here against Missouri, and if Holloway is out and if Carr is out, I'm just supposing makes that game a little bit bigger than some would think. This one incomplete over the middle. Troy Johnson was there.
Oklahoma has batted down several of Mike's balls today, and Gundy is less than 6 feet, and back in that pocket, Bill, when you have the lineman in your face, sometimes it's hard to see him. That's why they do a lot of controlled scramble type passing.
There's the total yardage story unofficially. 416 for Oklahoma to 248 for the Cowboys. 3rd and 10 at the 35. Gundy gets away from Evans, now unloads. Intended for Ronnie Williams and incomplete on the sideline. Covering on the play, Derek White. So the Cowboys now with a 4th and 10 situation and 1:58 remaining, down by a dozen. The punt unit of Kerry Cooper will come on. Fake punt earlier in the game, Dean, but in this situation, do you think that'll happen?
Well, I don't think you'll fake anyone out at this point if you run a fake punt.
It might be as good a possibility as anything, though, is to kick the ball and hope that Oklahoma fumbles it.
Yeah, if you're Oklahoma, though, you don't even touch it.
Timeout is called here, and Oklahoma taking time. They're out of timeouts. We'll take a final break.
The evolution of the burger. First, there was cheese, then pickles, lettuce, tomato, special sauce. Then, for something really different, back to lettuce and tomato. Wow, what progress. Listen, if you want something truly different, try Arby's Philly Beef and Swiss. Lean, tender roast beef topped with roasted peppers, onions, and melted Swiss. The Philly Beef and Swiss. It's not evolutionary, it's revolutionary.
All right, listen and listen tight, because I aim to do what I came here to do, and that is rent a car without having to throw in my horse and saddle to do it. That's why I came to Thrifty Car Rental. Well, they don't cost as much as them other yahoos.
Thrifty weekends here in Tulsa start as low as $14.99 a day. See your phone book and call Thrifty today.
You always get the best deal at Thrifty. Right, Pilgrim?
1:58 remaining. Oklahoma leading 22-10. Sooners taking a timeout. The Cowboys had sent the punt unit on. It appears that we will have that when we come back. There's head coach Barry Switzer. The timeout, Dean, and the reasoning?
No, I was totally surprised. There you see Straight Line with Barry Switzer. He's up every Thursday from 8 to 9, and we hope you enjoyed the program that Coach Switzer hosts up in the Tulsa studio. But now Oklahoma State goes for the 4th down, but they have no chance at all if they don't go for it. If they were to, I mean, the odds are certainly against them at this point, but you have no chance if you punt.
2 of 4 in 4th down situations.
You score and get an onside kick, you conceivably could win the football game.
Gundy, it's complete. First down out to the 50-yard line. It will keep the drive alive as Gerard Green hauls it in at the 49 of Oklahoma. Derek Crudup making the tackle. A couple of finals of college football. Syracuse beats Navy 34-10. Penn State over Maryland 21-16. Temple beat East Carolina, or lost to East Carolina 31-26. Tulsa leads Northern Arizona 17-7. First and 10 at the 49. And Gundy scrambling, he'll keep it this time. And now they'll have to hustle because with a minute 40 to go, they got the first down, and they will stop the clock to move the chains, so we'll be all right. Curtis Williams makes the tackle.
Cowboy fans can remember when Oklahoma came back on them and Jimmy Johnson, one of Jimmy Johnson's years up there when last year kicked the game-winning field goal, they had to recover an onside kick to do that.
So Oklahoma State scores here. History proves anything's possible. First and 10 from the 39, and Gundy can't get away this time. He's brought down by Troy Johnson, the earlier hero. Texas Tech and TCU, what a battle today. The Red Raiders beat the Horned Frogs 36-35 and pretty well kills TCU's Cotton Bowl chances.
That didn't sound right, did it? The Horned Frogs and the Cotton Bowl?
No, it didn't, matter of fact.
Notre Dame and TCU. Something about that just doesn't sound. Although Jim Wacker, I believe, has the program back on the right path at least, William.
Yeah, you know, they cleaned up the act down there. That's the important thing. 2nd and 9 here with a minute 26 to go. The Sooners leading at 22-10. It looks like OSU may find a way to get in the end zone, D, but I don't know if they got near enough clock to do much about the outcome.
Got to think positively. I mean, they have a chance if they were to get in the end zone quickly to recover an onside kick and have time to do that.
Don't forget this night, November 20th, we'll be in Lincoln, Nebraska. Sports Scene live to talk about the OU-Nebraska game. And guests like Bob Devaney, Jerry Taggy, Coach Switzer, and many others hopefully lined up for you. On the draw, Thomas to the 30-yard line. Troy Johnson and Derek Crudup there to make the stop. Thomas, 24 carries, 167 yards.
Defense thinking pass, pass, pass. Good play call, although the clock is running.
There's the game clock, fourth quarter. Gundy looking for Dykes, and it's overthrown. Sooners had it well covered. Dixon was there, also help from Finch and McMitchell. A flag was thrown. Back by Gundy, where he got hammered after he released the football. Penalty against Oklahoma.
Roughing the pass with the call against Oklahoma.
And that will move it up. First down, 15 yards, and takes the football now to the 15-yard line. .58 seconds remaining. Gundy will try to put it in the air. Dykes, and it's overthrown as Dixon is on one side and Crudup on the other. Well, Oklahoma State still has a super chance at ending up 9-2 with Kansas and Iowa State remaining, and their bowl decision at this time would appear to be the Sun on a Christmas Day national telecast hookup or the Blue Bonnet, where it's a hotbed of their recruiting grounds. Second and 10. Thomas gets out of bounds, but no gain.
That's Kirk Casper. Heck of a play by Kirk Casper, Bill. He appeared to be out of that play altogether. And no one wants to be one-on-one with Thurman Thomas. Casper with an excellent play. Fortunate for the Cowboys, though. He's out of bounds, and the clock stops at 46.
Third and 11 now for Gundy and company. Dykes goes to the top of your screen. Ronnie Williams to the lower part. Everybody out, and up the middle, intercepted by Oklahoma. And the Sooners, the 40, 30, 20, Dixon, touchdown Oklahoma. Dixon goes 95 yards, touchdown Sooners.
We'll have to see a replay on that, William. It looked like possible interference on the Oklahoma side. Regardless, the play stands, and Dixon has his third two-interception game this year.
Here's a look at it. It bounces off the pad of the receiver, Keith. Looked like it hit his shoulder pads, and then Dixon just comes and grabs it out of midair.
Well, Kenny McMitchell was very tight.
Look at him like a sprinter in a 100-yard dash.
He should. He's 4.35. There was no question after he caught the ball that he would go the distance, but it appeared as though Ken McMitchell might have been guilty of the pass interference. It's not called and really irrelevant in the scope of things.
Here's the point after by Thompson to the Lasher, and it is good. Oklahoma 29 and Oklahoma State 10 with 32 seconds remaining. And Oklahoma, with two great defensive plays, has put this one on ice. Johnson's pass interception with 3:51 to go in the fourth period made it a 22-10 game. And then Ricky Dixon, we'll get the official yardage on that, takes one all the way back on a pass interception, his second of the day and his sixth of the season. And the Sooners now a 29-10 leader with just 32 seconds to go.
takes tremendous instincts, although that one was batted his way. It was sort of a gift, William. Tremendous player.
And Oklahoma State, what a way for the day to come to an end for the Cowboys. No loss is much fun, but certainly to have been so close and then have two defensive plays just turn things around and put the game out of sight. Oklahoma will kick it off. The Sooners put it deep. Comes Sanders. 10, 15, 20, still up. Gonna circle. Nope, got caught. At the 21-yard line, Sanders is brought down. Lonnie Finch makes the tackle. We'll look at some of the faithful on hand in the Bedlam series as Oklahoma will continue its dominance. Cowboys have won since '76 and won't break that drought today.
Oklahoma gets out of the game with a victory, Bill, but I don't see it as much more than that. Holloway is out, Carr is out. We don't know for how long, but they are certainly out at this point. Oklahoma guilty of being a little sloppy offensively. They had some fumbles, they had lots of penalties, a lot on the defensive side. They're still able to come out with a win against a fine Oklahoma State team. And Oklahoma State, although we talked about statistics early in the ball game, they still have played a pretty good ball game. I know there was a chance when this game started, many people were thinking that it could have been a much wider margin.
Thomas on the draw play, and that might have been the last play. It is. Oklahoma will remain #1 as they hold off a determined Cowboy football team. And Barry Switzer and Pat Jones meet at midfield as the Cowboys fall to the Sooners. It's Oklahoma 29, Oklahoma State.
The Sooners take the field. Kansas State entering the game 1-8. The Sooners 6-3. Oklahoma has won the toss. They have elected to receive. Otis Taylor at his own 8-yard line. And a big hole to the 45. And that's where Oklahoma will start out. Hello again, everybody. Welcome to the Sooner Later Network. I'm Mark Matthew along with Dean Blevins. And today the Sooners better have their pass defense in order because Kansas State will put it up.
Kansas State will throw it up this afternoon, Mark, and so Oklahoma should be ready. They're looking forward to Nebraska. Let's go down to the field and set the lineups. Of course, Oklahoma has Nebraska next week. They need to play well this week.
Steve Collins at quarterback. Duell Brewer will be the tailback. Leon Perry at fullback. Taylor, Cooper, and Bross will be the other receivers. Manning, Sawatsky, Weiss, Medise, and Van Kiersveld. A special honor for Mike Wise today. More about that later as Duell Brewer gets the pitch. And he's got a gain of about 9 or 10. Run out of bounds by Matt Hennessy, number 54. Here's the Wildcats lineup. They'll start out with a 5-man front. Davenport, Killian, Williams, Crawford, and Alexander. The linebackers, Brooks Barta and Chris Patterson. And the D-backs will be Hurds, Masters, Harper, and Miller.
Look for Collins to get on the corner early.
2nd down and 1. Taylor, the Z-back today. Ted Long is injured. Here's Steve Collins on the corner. Makes the turn. First down to the Kansas State 35, but a flag flies. Gary Gibbs in his first year meeting another first-year coach, Bill Snyder, who is in his first year as coach of Kansas State.
Also a fumble on the play.
Let's check the ruling now by the officials. Holding against Oklahoma.
Yeah, but the fumble
on the fumble gives Kansas State the football.
Well, the one thing Oklahoma cannot do this afternoon is be sloppy. The Sooners last weekend in an excellent
on the offense. First down.
In an excellent offensive performance against Missouri, did not turn the ball over. First time in 15 games. There are the Wildcats.
Strong, Jackson, Madden, Jones, Hernandez, and Smith getting the start. There's the offensive line for the Wildcats, and Kansas State starting out with split setbacks. And right off the bat, Straw dropping back to throw. Over the middle, he has his man complete to the 39. And it's Jones, the receiver. The big tight end, only a sophomore, 6'4", 215-pounder. The Sooners defensively will start with Dixon, Dillard, Williams, Evans, and Wilson up front. The linebackers today, Barnes and Blevins. And the deep backs for Oklahoma look like this. Thompson, Belser, Ray, and Franks. A gain of 5 on the play. Brings up second down and 5. Pat Jackson splits out wide to the left. Straw with the draw play. Right up the middle. And it's good for Kansas State. First down. And I believe it was Paul Watson in at quarterback on that play, number 14.
Kansas State has you thinking pass so much. Successful here on the draw right up the middle. Kansas State will actually throw for about 4 yards to every 1 yard they run for, averaging only 67.8 yards per game rushing, over 200 passing per game.
Sonny Jones, the lone setback in the backfield. And it's still Watson. And a little flat pass to the sideline. Good for another 3 or 4 yards.
There you see Frank Blevins, Stacy Dillard, 77. Paul Watson, as you pointed out, Mark, is in at quarterback right now. He has started a couple of games this year, 4 in his career. Numbers this year, 37 of 67, 3 interceptions, yet to throw a touchdown. And there they are updated.
Brings up second down and 7. Watson, a sophomore, 6'2", 195-pounder. He's been intercepted 3 times this season. Maybe an audible at the line as Kansas State lines up in the eye. And the handoff goes to Pat Jackson. Scampers outside across the 40. Good yardage, first down and more. Run out of bounds at the 24 as he was chased out by Joe Bowden. But the sticks will move, and Kansas State marching right up the field on the Sooners.
We talked about it so much. You played defense with intensity, and Oklahoma not showing any here early. Kansas State on the move. Pat Jackson with a nice move down the boundary, and Oklahoma generally does not receive kickoffs when they win the toss. They did today, and it has backfired after the fumble.
A 23-yard gain for Pat Jackson, his longest run of the year. Split setback. Sonny Jones and Jackson in the backfield.
That's the longest run for any player this year.
Watson in trouble, double pumps, then lets it fly incomplete. Throws it away. And also, Watson pays the price on the play because he was wrapped up by Stacy Dillard, chased also by Wayne Dixon.
And just to exemplify the lack of rushing attack for Kansas State, as you get a good look there at Paul Watson, marked the longest run from scrimmage for Kansas State prior to the last scamper was only 21 yards. Pat Jackson did it against North Texas, and that was the lone win for Kansas State this season.
Kansas State comes into the ballgame averaging only 68 yards rushing per ballgame. Second down and 10. Play action fake. Watson holds the linebackers and overthrows his intended receiver, Al Jones. So it's going to bring up third down and 10 now. Terry Ray right stride for stride with Jones.
Actually, Jones appeared to be open momentarily, but the pass was overthrown, and Terry Ray goes for the...
Here's the story on the two teams for 89. The Wildcats with 1,824 yards in the air. They're averaging 270 yards per ball game. Third down and 10 on the Sooner 25. The lone setback, Sonny Jones, number 38. Straight drop back. Watson gets it away, but it's well defended by Terry Ray and broken up. Incomplete. It'll bring up fourth down.
Well, a couple of solid athletes for Oklahoma right there. Bowden with the rush on the quarterback, and there you see Terry Ray playing fine at the free safety position. Better than fine on that play. Good speed, good athletic ability, and David Kruger will come on. Had 2 field goals blocked this year. Has made 5 of 7 on the season.
His longest has been a 46-yarder, 5 of 10 on the year, and that 46-yarder came last week. This one, a 42-yarder. He's got the win, and he's got the points. It's good, and Kansas State on the board first with 12:28 to play in the first quarter. The Wildcats 3, the Sooners nothing. Can two moms bring two families together?
Do you think we should?
Yes, yes.
It's a matter of who is compatible.
Why are you guys always pushing me out the door? Because Mom will get mad if we pushed her out the window.
What's a mother to do?
I didn't do it.
The answer is a parent.
I've got to kill him, otherwise he'll never learn.
Two moms are better than one.
Do you know where your kids are?
When it's Kate and Allie.
Weeknights at 10:30 on Channel 34. It's your station.
What can you buy for $5 these days? Maybe one of these. Or a couple of these. Perhaps one of these. But right now at Arby's, $5 buys you 5 regular roast beef sandwiches. 5 lean, tender, slow-roasted roast beef sandwiches served on toasted sesame seed buns. So come into Arby's now where $5 buys you 5 regular roast beef sandwiches. Or go somewhere else where $5 buys you, well...
Maybe we're in your driveway, lighting up the dark. Or maybe you're starting a brand new day, and we provide the spark.
Bring ESPN, Disney, and HBO home through your REC's new 40-channel satellite package. To join up, call your rural electric cooperative.
REC is just you and me, and a special kind of energy that lights up our community. The REC, good neighbors.
Sometimes things go wrong in life. You or one of your family members may have been injured at work or in a car wreck or other accident. When you are faced with medical bills, lost income, and the pain and distress that come from an injury, we can help. Our attorneys will stand up for you and make sure you receive just compensation. And if there is no recovery, there's no fee. If you or someone you care about has been injured and you want information concerning your legal rights, call the law office of Morrison Associates, professionals to turn to when things go wrong.
You're watching OU football on Channel 34.
12 minutes, 28 seconds left to play in the first, and Kansas State with a 42-yard field goal on the board, 3-0. And there was a very special award presented just prior to kickoff today, the Don Key Award.
Yeah, there's the winner, Mike Wise out of Bartlesville. Isn't that great? Mike Wise, Gary Gibbs has called him the most consistent performer for the Sooners this year. But this goes for more than just on the field. The honor traditionally has been kept secret until the final game of the year. It goes to the Sooner with excellent character and leadership qualities, and the guy has to do well in the classroom. And, of course, it's named after or in memory of Don Key. Of course, Don was injured, went down with a kidney injury that cut short his career. A fine All-Big 8 player back in '81. He was on hand today, and that's a very prestigious award. Means a lot to the players.
David Kruger kicking off for the second time today. Otis Taylor driven deep into the end zone, will not return it. And the wind definitely a factor in this ball game, favoring Kansas State, blowing from right to left. And Oklahoma will start out at their own 20. The Sooners moved the ball in their first drive, but then fumbled it away as they crossed midfield. And as you know, Otis Taylor is starting at Z-back in place of the injured Ted Long. And Duell Brewer starting at tailback because Ike Lewis suspended for the final 2 games due to disciplinary reasons. Here's the scoring drive, 41 yards, 7 plays. Hand off to Leon Perry, right up the middle to the 25. A gain of 5. Kansas State last defeated Oklahoma back in 1970, 19-14. And ironically, both teams hold the record for the most points scored on the other. Oklahoma scored 76 against Kansas State way back in 1942. The Wildcats scored 59 against the Sooners in 1969, the most ever. And there's Steve Collins, 11 of 29. Really had a great game last week. The pitch goes to Brewer. He's out to the 30 and should have the first down.
You mentioned due to the suspension, Duell Brewer getting his start. You know, Brewer only ended his high school career a year ago tonight as Lawton was upset in the first round of the state high school playoffs. Thus, he's a true freshman. 3 freshmen as the option play here goes to Brewer. 3 freshmen starting for Oklahoma out of the 4 in the backfield. Of course, Perry, the only non-freshman, being a senior out of Orlando. But Collins, a quarterback. Otis Taylor and Duell Brewer. There are the numbers. Could rack up some big ones before his career is over.
You know, Oklahoma fumbling away the football in their first possession. Last week against Missouri, the Sooners with no turnovers. And that was the first time that happened in 15 games. As Brewer cuts his way back close to another first down at the 40.
No doubt Dwell Brewer will rack up big numbers not only in his career, but I think he'll have a ton today if he can stay healthy. And I think that Oklahoma fans want to just make sure number 6 on the toss sweep here, cutting back against the grain, you want to make sure he stands up every play after he's tackled, because Oklahoma, of course, losing Mike Gaddis for the year with a knee injury, suspension to Ike Lewis. That leaves Dwell Brewer as the lone I-back. Nebraska next week.
Brewer gets the call again, and this time he has the first down. Just a half yard shy. It was second and short, but they'll move the sticks now. Oklahoma has won 49 of the 52 games against Kansas State since 1927. That's including an NCAA record 32 straight at one point.
Boy, I'd hate to see a helmet on that guy.
That's Willie the Wildcat, the mascot for Kansas State. Today, Wildcats with 2 first downs, the Sooners with 3.
Shift to the eye.
Brewer again.
Oklahoma just assaulting Kansas State, Mark. The Sooners should have lots of success. I expect them to be rather vanilla this afternoon. Kansas State, maybe, I'd say one of the poorest, safely say one of the poorest defensive teams in America. Very bad against the rush. Last year, yielding Oklahoma an NCAA record 768 yards. There you see Coach Gary Gibbs, but that's just in rushing. 829 total.
Kansas State this year allowing 263 yards on the rush per contest. Perry bowls his way to within a yard of the first down stick. Oklahoma just shy. Across midfield, moving into Kansas State territory at the 49.
Kansas State doing a few things a little bit differently this year defensively. There, Leon Perry's numbers. In the past, they've been sort of a jump defense, kind of gamble with you here and there. And this year, by and large, they've tried to play a little bit more sound.
Power eye and the sweep outside. Brewer hit once, but second effort on his feet. It'll be close to a first down. Maurice Henry, the defensive end, number 28, makes the stop on Brewer. I don't think he's going to have it.
I don't think he got it. That'll be 4th down, and it'll be interesting to see if Oklahoma decides to go for it here. Oklahoma comes in a decided favorite. Roughly, what, 42 points, 43 points?
Yeah, favorite. Joey Mickey comes into the ball game now, and it will be a double tight end formation. And the Sooners will go out of the wishbone on 4th and inches on the Wildcat 48. Steve Collins keeps it and gets the first down. Collins coming off a great day last week against Missouri. 257 yards of total offense, the most since Jamel Holloway recorded 324 against Missouri in 1985. And Steve Collins moves the sticks.
Steve Collins exerting himself as Oklahoma's starting quarterback. I understand he had a solid week at practice. His numbers there. Gaining confidence after last weekend's solid performance against Missouri. That play is hard to stop, going over Wise. Collins 6'1", 195, and picked up the first.
Back to the I formation. Receiver split to both sides. Collins on the option, keeps it, cuts outside. Whoa. It's a great block from Adrian Cooper, which gave Collins another 7 yards. Adrian Cooper really put a great block on for Steve Collins. And
Steve
Collins has the first down again.
Watch him, Mark, as Steve Collins sets it up. You can tell the confidence is really flowing nicely for Collins, but he cuts back out to the sideline where he should cut. It's so often a quarterback will just cut it back up inside and not utilize the blockers, but he set up the block here. Watch him cut outside, and Adrian Cooper gets the slam block there, knocks him down, and Collins gets it, and close to a late hit. No call, 1st and 10.
First down at the 32, and Collins with an audible now. He switches Z-back Otis Taylor over to the left side, and they'll run it that way. Brewer cuts back against the grain and gets close to the 25. A gain of 5 or 6.
Well, Brewer built low to the ground. We talked last weekend about the size of his thighs. I mean, the guy has trouble walking back there. This is large, but that makes it good for a back that runs the style in which he does. Rarely will one tackler be able to get a shot at his legs and bring him down.
Dwell Brewer enters the ballgame with 260 yards rushing. He may double it yet today. Leon Perry on a quick hitter, and he'll have the first down. He gets down to the 20 number 34. Exactly 8 minutes left to play in the first quarter. It's 3-0 Kansas State. Oklahoma has been averaging 46 points per game over the last 18 years against the Wildcats. And they better get some points on the board quickly here if they're going to match that figure today. Current drive, 11 rushes, as you saw. Collins on the option. He may go all the way down to the 1. Steve Collins down to the 1 before he is wrapped up from behind by Danny Needham.
Excellent play by Oklahoma. Collins executing the option to perfection. I think he's coming outside thinking pitch, but he correctly cuts it up inside against the grain, uses a fine speed and some strength, gets it down close inside the 1, and an injured player for Kansas State defensively.
Well, while there's timeout to attend him, we'll remind you that there's 7:37 left to play in the first quarter. The Wildcats still lead 3-0, but the Sooners are knocking on the Wildcat den, and we'll return to Owen Field right after this timeout.
Howdy, how you doing?
There's a bright new light in Oklahoma's financial future, Westar. Westar Bank has grown to become one of the largest banks in Oklahoma. Westar believes we can combine innovative ideas from Oklahoma business with our ability to loan money and build a strong future for our state. Ideas become realities when the money is there to accomplish a goal. Let us help make your business ideas a reality. The bright new light in Oklahoma banking, Westar. Westar Bank.
It's the right beer now, but not now. It's the right beer now,
but definitely not now.
Coors Light, it's the right beer now.
And absolutely, positively, not now. No way.
Come on, Jimmy, let me get your cab.
Your Jeep Eagle dealers just doubled your savings. We've doubled your cashback savings during double cashback days. Now, get $2,000 cash back direct from Chrysler on Eagle Premier. Get $1,000 back on Eagle Summit. Or get $1,000 back on Jeep Cherokee. Plus, you can save with factory to dealer incentives. So hurry. With savings like these, everything's going to go double fast. See Dave Markley, Ed Haas, and Fowler Jeep Eagle and expect the best.
You're watching the Sooner Later Network. And with 7:37 to go in the first, it's 3-0 Kansas State. The injured Wildcat was linebacker Chris Patterson. It's first and goal for the one, Leon Perry. Tries the left side of the line, and no indication. Apparently stopped just short of the goal line.
And I'm sure Jim Donnan, the offensive coordinator, calling the plays from the press box, as he always does, wanting to let the senior from Orlando finish his home career in good fashion. There's Coach Gary Gibbs. 12 Sooners playing their last games, or at least 12 seniors today, some of whom are injured. 8 seniors have played as starters this year at one time or another for the Sooners this season.
Second down and goal. Also from the one. This time, Duell Brewer. Drags the defender over the goal line. Touchdown, Oklahoma.
Look for a big day from Duell Brewer. Gets hit about 3 yards deep in the backfield, but momentum, leg strength, drive, gets him into the end zone for his second touchdown of the season.
Ironically, on the play, another Wildcat injured. Down in the end zone is the other linebacker, Matt Hennessy, who came in to replace Chris Patterson. So 2 of the starting 3 linebackers have now fallen to injury. And there's a good look at Matt Hennessy, number 54, 6'1", 225-pound senior.
Yeah, he's out of Enid. I'm sure the people watching in the Enid area will remember Matt, a fine player. Actually has walked on up at NEO, caused a couple of fumbles this year. Hope he's okay. That is sad news.
Well, he's going to be helped to his feet. Clock stopped with 6:43 to go in the first quarter. And it looks like maybe a left knee.
Well, he has it bandaged up coming in. Hopefully just dinged a little bit.
R.D. Lasher coming on 37 of 37 on the year in the point after department, trying to tack on the 7th point of the ball game and his 38th extra point of the season.
The high school team I mentioned out of Enid was the state 5A champion back in '83. Liddell Carr, I believe, played on that team. On the fullback.
Here's the snap and the kick. And it's good. So with 6:43 to go in the first, Oklahoma with its first lead of the day, taking charge over the Wildcats 7-3.
During Epperson Photo Video's big Sony sale, you can save $100 on this Sony F35 camera, reduced to only $899. This Sony F70 video camera has a powerful 8:1 zoom lens and many automatic features for high-quality videos. Reduced $200, now only $1199. The world's smallest camcorder, the Sony TR5, weighs less than 2 pounds. With a Sony this small, you'll want to take it with you everywhere. Only at Epperson Photo Video, 3110 North May.
Do something special for yourself. Attend the University of Oklahoma, where excellence is the hallmark of this great university. Strong research and graduate programs complement your undergraduate experience, which includes a great choice of academic programs, a wide selection of classes, and extensive library and lab resources. Visit us at the University of Oklahoma.
Here's 3 reasons why you should buy your new Ford from Southwest Ford. 2.9% financing, or rebates as high as $1,500, or brand new Fords closed out at invoice prices. That's right. We'll even show you the invoice. You can buy a new Ford at absolute invoice price. It's closeout time right now, and the invoice price is the sale price at Southwest Ford. That's incredible. No, that's Southwest Ford.
Come to Oklahoma City and Southwest Ford.
59th and Penn.
You're watching OU football on Channel 34.
You're watching the Sooner Later Network, and the Sooners getting set to kick off after marching up the field and putting 7 on the board. They lead Kansas State 7-3. Brad Riddell set to kick. Back deep to receive. Dimitri Scott on the left. Tyrese Hurd on the right.
Dimitri Scott, number 20, is the best returner in school history. He won't get this one, though.
It's Hurd. Bobbles it at the 5, and he has a big return. Still going to midfield. A 45-yard return by Tyrese Hurd. And what a hole opened up.
Well, boy, it did. And this is a sign of just not coming and playing as sharply as you should, because the seas really parted here. This will be the longest kickoff return of the season. The previous was 38 yards by Scott. And you know what happens? Let's watch the touchdown first, and we'll come back to this in a moment. Handoff deep to Duell Brewer. Yeah, hit about 3 yards deep and carries his man into the end zone. What was it,
Alexander grabbed a hold of him, but he carried Alexander right in. 80 yards, 14 plays, 5:45. Now back to action, 1st and 10 in midfield. It's Watson throwing complete to Jones. And he's dragged down after an 8-yard gain at the Sooner 42.
Linebackers responsible for passes in this area. And playing deep are the linebackers. There's Joe Bowden back there, Frank Blevins from the other side, and Greg DeQuazy comes up on the stop.
Grabbed a leg and wouldn't let go. But a gain of 8. 2nd down and 2 on the Sooner 42. And now some confusion in the backfield. They'll go with a long setback, and that's Pat Jackson. The pitch batted down and then recovered. And I don't know if that was ruled a lateral or a pass.
Well, that would be a lateral, and in fact, there was some hesitation that time on Watson's part. Watch him here. He turns around, he sees big Stacy Dillard. Well, you can't pause like that. Look at the back was too far up, though, and that's probably why Watson didn't first throw it or toss it right there. Pulls the string on it. Stacy Dillard's batted down 4 or 5 passes, and that's the first lateral I've seen batted down. Vic Stacy over 6'6", 6'7".
That was a live ball also, and it bounces right back to Watson. A loss of 3 on the play brings 3rd down and 5. Watson backpedaling. Chased out of the pocket, then going long. He's got a man wide open, but overthrows Pat Jackson. And there was nothing between Jackson and the end zone except daylight.
Flag down, Watson scrambling and had a man open. Could have gone for 6. We'll see what the penalty is as the Wildcats had to ad lib. Watson back, Dixon coming from the end position, and he does a fine job of scrambling. Oklahoma not able to contain him. Has a man open behind the linebacker, who in that situation is in a bind because he has so much time. Here's the call.
On the offense, declined, 4th down.
Well, it would have come back anyway. Instead, the Sooners will elect to have Kansas State face a 4th and 5, and the punting unit coming on. Chris Cobb will do the punting. He's averaging just over 40 yards per punt this season. And he's punted a lot, 57 times. And it's going to be, I believe, Greg DeQuazy, the up back. He'll be perched at the 20-yard line, now stepping back towards the 15.
Mark, we've had some crazy plays this season pulled against the Sooners, most notably up at Iowa State. The kicker is a backup quarterback, so I wouldn't think that they would fake it, but you would think have the arm to do it. He has the wind at his back, and Kansas State to have any chance of pulling off the major upset would have to pull some wild plays.
Well, now Bill Snyder wanting to sort something out with referee Terry Turlington. Terry Turlington, not only a football referee, but also a basketball referee in the Big 8 Conference. Good crowd on hand. Of course, every seat's sold out. Some people elected to stay home because of the nice weather and maybe do something else, but a great crowd on hand here at Owen Field. And now we're ready to get back underway. 5:06 to go in the first. 4th and 5. And Cobb set to punt.
He's a good pooch kicker. Has kicked many of them out of bounds.
This one.
And this one's the same thing.
Headed for the corner of the playing field, but it takes an Oklahoma roll, then comes back. So the Sooners will have their hands on it at about their own 17 when we return. 4:56 to go in the first. It's 7-3 Oklahoma.
This is Channel 34. It's your station.
Generations of Oklahomans have known that when it comes to ice cream, goodness is gilt edge. You can taste how much we care.
It's my date, Dad. Be nice.
Hi, you hear about the used car?
Hi, a cold drink.
Sure. She's a beauty. Ooh, I want you to get my hands on her. That's Pepper. Great. Now about the car. Yes. Hi, you here for your daughter? Are you busy tonight?
I'm excited. It's so am I. I'm so nervous. I know why. I'm not sure I'll make it through. I still believe in you.
It's long distance, and with Southwestern Bell Telephone 1+ dialing, it's the easiest way to let someone know how you feel.
I'm so glad you called. So glad you called.
Oklahoma leading Kansas State 7-3, 4:56 to go in the first. A 28-yard punt by Cobb, and Oklahoma takes over at their own 17. And a smashing hit put on Brewer as he gets up to the 20. Marcus Miller, number 16, first to hit him and hit him hard.
Boy, did he ever. Brewer had a full head of steam headed around the corner. A nice fundamental tackle there by you. Right in the numbers. That hurts. I saw Dwell Brewer after the game last season or last weekend. Mark in the locker room. He was just all beat up. He had bruises on his cheekbones, on his face, all over his body. Durable player, though.
2nd down and 7 facing the Sooners. Collins right up the middle. Brewer. First down to the 29. And again, Miller makes the tackle, and the crowd likes it. I don't know how many times people have stopped to think this year, Dean, that they're really seeing a bright future on display.